tonight. If you're going to bed, we are live in 9 hours as well for the China lower bracket final to see who is the second team to go to Masters. So maybe that time works better for you if you're about to sleep now. If not, you just woke up, but that's okay. We've got Americas. I've got C9 MiBR coming up. I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, go back. Who's the first team? The first team is Trace. And then the lower bracket final is EDG against Billy Gaming.
Para nosso jogo contra a Coronel, a gente sabe que o jogo deles pouco em torno do Ox também.
Chimes in for two from that high ground now to the Sheriff, interrupts the plan. Oxy! He's looking for it!
They're a strong team. They have Osboss, one of the best players in the world, so we can't take them lightly.
Jogador sendo pego no fio, né? E agora o Aspas já garantindo 2 abates logo de começo, hein? Só que o Xenon já foi eliminado. O Aspas de novo! Vai ter que ser com ele, não tem jeito!
MiBR is good at playing mechanically and playing together. We're going to beat MiBR by playing fundamentally sound and closing out the runs that we should.
O jogo contra a Hannetif deu para a gente saber qual é a nossa fraqueza, né, no campeonato, por enquanto que foi a defesa. A gente não conseguiu encaixar nosso ritmo do jogo contra a Hannetif. Então a gente vai focar nisso e contra a Coronel a gente está bem confiante.
Welcome back to day 5 of VCT America's Kickoff and our second elimination match. It's MiBR versus Cloud9. I am Zoe and joining me are Sean and Dre here on the desk. This is going to be a funny one, I personally feel.
One?
Because, let me tell you why. For me, it's like one of the teams that most overperformed versus one of the teams that most underperformed.
That's very true.
And if we're looking at those two teams and talking a little bit about what we've seen so far, MiBR, obviously the team that everyone had super high expectations. Ospas on that roster. You have promising rookies, right? So there's a lot of expectations, a lot of pressure on this team to perform.
I'm not going to lie. Who would have thought we see Ospas in an Olymp game first round lowers right now? And they're playing against Cloud9, and here I am thinking maybe Cloud9 is favored. So it's scary for Ospas and co over there on the MiBR because they have these young rookies that just kind of maybe fell flat on their opening showing on the stage.
Yeah, what happened was very unfortunate as well. You think you won the pistol round right away, and then it ends up that players on the other team were disconnected. Yeah. There's nothing you can do about that. You have to replay the round. So it's just, I guess, just starting off on the wrong foot for them. And I think in order to bring that back up, you got to come in confident, forget about the past, and just go full steam ahead.
And that definitely has an effect on a young team. You know, thinking you won the pistol on the pistol you practiced all week long, Artazine getting 4 kills on the new Agent Teo, grinding up his ult, and then the match restarts, and he ends the map with 4 kills.
I know, that's what I was pointing out too. I was like, dude,
devastating.
It's rough.
I mean, to be fair, 100 Thieves played really, really well as well. They were running at them, they were so aggressive. It was such a fast-paced game from them.
I think they
run that Neon as if Neon never has been nerfed like ever. So it was just, that was a rough debut performance for MiBR.
Yeah, they struggled to get value on the Teo, if I'm being honest. Like we saw Xander TP past the Teo ult at some point at Rubble, just really lacking creativity. It's a very powerful kit, as we've seen, but you still have to innovate, and they couldn't against the Neon and the Omen, which were getting past all that util.
I also wasn't really seeing enough like chemistry and engagement between Ospas and Nazwar. Like I feel like the whole story has been, oh, what's gonna happen when these two like come back together? And I feel like for Nazwar, he kind of has to prove to everybody that the roster decision that Leviathan made last year was a mistake. Yeah. And he's got to start now, because if not, then it just looks like, okay, maybe all along Leviathan knew what they were doing.
That's a crazy thing too. They went behind, like the star player, Ospas wanted to play with Nazwar, and he was removed from that team for Calm. And then here they are rejoining now on MiBR, the old school coach of Ospas, coming in from Loud.
You gotta deliver.
It's all here.
You do, but also we have to give MiBR a lot of credit. They're the only Brazilian team that are taking chances on those tier 2 players. They're here to develop. They believe in this roster. And we have one of those rookies standing by right now with Dryads. Let's hear from Cortesia.
I'm here with Cortesia ahead of match 2. And Cortesia, what I want to ask you here is there were a lot of eyes on you in the offseason because of your individual performance. You were doing amazing. So how are you dealing with that pressure now that you played on the stage for the first time?
Então, a pressão no stage é bem diferente, né? Querendo ou não, no off-season foi em casa, então era mais confortável. Aqui dentro do stage, acredito que é questão de tempo para me adaptar e não me sinto nervoso de jogar na frente da plateia nem na frente dos outros jogadores, não.
Well, the pressure at the stage is different, right? During the off season, I was playing at home, and so the pressure is definitely different. But I'm not really scared of playing in front of other players and audience.
And speaking a little bit about that
back.
pressure, so do you feel any pressure playing with Aspas and Noswer, names that are so well known internationally, or are you playing like it's any teammate?
Então, acredito que a pressão de jogar com Aspas e com NZR existe sim. Aliás, eles são os melhores do mundo, né? Mas eu gosto de ver de uma forma grata de estar tendo essa oportunidade, de ter um time competitivo e não de uma forma que eu me sinto pressionado por isso.
Yeah, they're like the best in the world, but I am thankful for the opportunity to play with those two, Aspas and ONRZ. So I don't feel the pressure of playing with them. I'm actually very thankful for the opportunity.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck today.
Yeah, there's so much you can take away as a rookie when you're
Yeah,
being
got the new
led
YouTube
by
chat up. I
legends
can
of
see
the
you guys
sport
now.
right there. So that's great to hear. Now, of course, we talked about, right, what effect this can have, like such a rough debut performance. How do you keep the morale up? What do you think as a leader? What do you need to do for your team to continue?
I think that has to come, unironically, from Osbos. Not even Fraud. I actually think it has to come from Osbos because he's had
We're doing
so
China
much
tomorrow?
success
Yes.
in this
Yes,
game
we are.
that these young
We're gonna
players
see who the last,
respect him, and they
last team
respect
is that
every
goes
word that
from
he
China.
says. You know, I truly think that
Fnatic
today
game?
will be
Oh,
a
man,
different
it was so
story for
good.
MiBR in that their players will be in better form. But even in the offseason,
Dude, imagine they go on a run now.
I'm not sure
Wait,
if
who
you
do they
felt
play
this
next
way,
again?
But Shinam and
Did you
Cortesia,
speak
they're
about this earlier?
incredibly mechanically.
Yeah.
Best
But
of 5
oftentimes
tomorrow?
They were a little bit behind
Yeah.
on using the support
Best of
util
5.
that
Wait,
Osbos
what is tomorrow?
typically has.
Let me look at
Yeah,
all of tomorrow real
100%.
quick.
Cortesia specifically, I was very impressed with what I saw in his leg timing.
Tomorrow we've got
how he
best of
took a lot
5
those
from
engagements
China
and would sometimes get
into
not only one,
EMEA
but
into
two, like a
Americas.
follow-up kill always. And I think we
and then
kind of saw some
Pacifics
brilliance
after.
of that on Bind specifically.
Yeah, but
against
then the
FUs,
schedule gets pretty
but
good
that
for
first
me,
map
so-
when he was on the kill
Only 2 more
I feel like
updates.
it wasn't even his fault. They were playing retake simulator.
They play the
like
winner
10
of Mates
rounds
of
in a
Coria.
row, man.
You'd
Like,
imagine,
the
gentlemen.
only round that he had a first engagement in like the first 15 seconds, he got opt on a jump
Yeah.
spot. It's like, dude, he could.
That was at sea, right?
Yeah, he couldn't really get anything going. So
Val
now
Esco in
this is a
YouTube
good
chat.
chance.
Thank you for
Can't
saying
do
that,
much
bro. I
worse than
appreciate
what
the
he did
kind
against
words, dude.
Hunter Right? So the pressure really is
That's
off.
a really positive way of looking at it.
I don't
love
think
that.
a lot of people expect them to win. You
KICKOFF?
know, even with Osbos
Yeah, they had a rough run.
being on because of how
had
bad
a
they
rough
performed
run.
against Hunter Thieves. So
Right.
when you're able to play
I
a
gotta
little bit
give
looser in that
gotta give props
aspect,
to the
all of a sudden
Giants
those
anti.
nerves aren't
I
there
thought the
anymore.
Giants
And you
anti
can really do some
strats
damage.
were pretty
That,
good
that
in the
might
prep
have
they
helped
put in.
Cloud9 in their first match, quite frankly, because they were not the favorite heading into
Yeah.
this. Like, people had a lot of opinions.
always gonna be an
obviously, during
upset 'cause
the
the Giants, the
offseason
roster's
on
really
they're
good.
Picking up and letting go and picking up again and letting go. You know the story. But they surprised.
Yeah,
I think
honestly,
they
after the
overperformed.
first
They're,
game and after watching
exceeded
KICKOFF, I
many
really thought KICKOFF
expectations
were
in
going to win that.
chaotic
So
games they played against Energy, and then of course they got
Shout out
both
to
like,
Giants.
We're not talking about that.
No, we can't talk about that.
GT was just, that's another level. They were on another level.
That's
That's
new
not
one
fair.
today, dude. They
Yeah, we
broke
can't
a
talk about
record
that, but
today.
What we can
They
talk
had a,
about,
they had a
though, is
13-0
how
on
this guy,
Haven,
Zebba,
and then
has
literally the
just
next
looked
game they
lights out
play,
so
they
far.
13-0
Carried
again
in
on
that
Haven,
off-season
back-to-back
form, you know,
13-0s.
The community is very harsh on Zeppa because
Alex
he's the
out
longest
already,
standing
yeah.
member of this Cloud9
Last
team
in the
who's
EMEA.
failed to really get a lot of international
But I say
success.
last is like
But
8
I
to
don't
12.
think he deserves any of the criticism. I think he's played a
The Cupid
lot
Academy
of
roster,
roles
yeah, we
over
spoke
these
about a bit
years
earlier, really
and
good.
had a lot of
Really strong
inexperienced
roster.
teammates that he's lifted up
Should be fun to watch
consistently.
them.
And here it is again, he's playing new roles. We see him on the Globe, we see him on the Teo, and he's putting up numbers again.
Yeah, and Zoe, when we were at the Seattle LAN event in the off season, I got to talk to him a little bit, like when we did that behind the scenes thing after the event was
26
over.
and
I'm
0 on
what
Haven
are
is
you
a crazy
eating? What are
stat
you
line.
doing?
What's the routine?
looking
Yeah,
like?
it was something
You know,
like
'cause-
I need that
they
hair
had
routine,
won
man.
Oh, they-
32
yeah,
rounds
we
in
all
a
need the
row.
hair
I
routine for
think
sure.
it was at the end.
But he just
Like
told
if you
me
include
he's back
all
to
of
his
their games
comfortability,
before.
back on the peripherals that he really enjoyed using
So
in the
that's
past when he
that's
went
a
to
record that
It's a
probably won't get
peripheral,
broken for a
that's-
long
it's-
time.
Yeah,
it's
peripheral.
In tier
peripheral.
one.
You know what? Whatever
Your
works.
day.
Back on his old
So-
settings, whatever it may be, comfortability is key in gaming, I feel like. And I feel like with all the new tech coming out, it could be so
Like
like
the DRG pick Haven, that's what
pushing
I
you
mean.
to want to use new
Honestly,
things,
all
but
of us were
sometimes all
asking
you gotta
that.
do is fall back on old reliable.
I don't know if you
Yeah,
should ever be
that's-
picking that.
it's
Even
the
if you're really
easiest
good
way
at
to
a map,
be
I'm not sure you should ever
consistent
pick a
as an
map that
individual
someone
in a
like
game where so many things are
their last
changing,
game.
in a team where
You
so
know
many
their
things are
confidence
changing.
is
I mean, 2 years
just
ago,
so,
we
so
saw-
high.
we saw Ye on this team 2 years ago, and he was dropped before the second game of the season. You know, like, so everything's changing around this guy. The one thing he can keep consistent is his gear, at very least.
Please, man. The gear in the streams, Zeppa. Keep on keeping on, man.
Zoe, she used to do
Overwatch.
I don't know what game she did before that, but she used to do Overwatch.
Take him off of Fraud Watch for now, depending on
for
how
now.
today goes, I guess. But yeah, we actually have Dryad standing by with him, so let's hear what he has to say.
Hey guys, I'm here with Zeppa from Cloud9, and Zeppa, I want to ask
He
you.
still does
you've been
Overwatch.
doing
Oh, it's still
insane
going?
in the past
Dude,
couple matches
honestly, I
individually. In the
actually
offseason, what was
genuinely
your
forgot that
prep like to make
Overwatch
sure
was
that
still
you're
at
playing
esports.
these agents to such a high level?
Play the game 14 hours a day, and with a little bit of TFT, and that's all I do.
And I mean, it's working out, at least
I'll
for
say
you
not bad.
individually, you look amazing. But I want to ask you, now you're the longest standing member of Cloud9. What is it like for you to adapt to these roster changes that have happened, and how do you feel about the team right now?
The coaches and obviously the teammates that come through like make it easier for me. I don't have to do all the heavy lifting. So I mean, I just show up, they tell me what to do, and I just play the game. So shout out to them.
And my last question for you, now you're playing with Mitch again. We already talked about it a little bit, but I want to know, playing with Mitch once again since 2021, what is his biggest quality as an IGL for Cloud9?
I think he's very composed. He's very relaxed, and just like the rest of us, I think it's very easy to talk to him, and very easy to like criticize each other, and like no one's taking everything to heart. But I think the biggest thing as him is just very composed and relaxed.
All right, I can't wait to see you guys. Good luck.
Mitch does have very
Okay.
chill vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that does a lot for a team as well, especially have the likes of Oxy who are more explosive in personality and in playstyle. Speaking of which, while Zeppa had the game of a lifetime, Oxy was rather quiet in his opening match. What are we taking away from this? Are we worried yet?
He's had a rough 2 games, Sean. I mean, he is sitting
Giants
at
beat
10
KICKOFF
first
and
kills,
BBL
20
beat
first deaths.
Giants.
I like that he's still going at it.
BBL's winning
The
KICKOFF.
perseverance that this
Wait,
kid has,
does
I mean, he's
BBL
gonna
play
need to
tomorrow?
Keep doing that, and eventually it's gonna go his way. We've seen it already.
So you're not worried,
No.
right?
I'm not
When's the
worried.
next
I'm not
BBL
worried.
game?
I'm not
Okay,
worried.
okay.
The
We're
BBL
on the
have a
same
long
page. These
time
are-
off.
This is NRG and G2.
Yeah.
Like he is not playing even average teams for our region. He's playing the very top teams
Next
in our
week?
region, and he's expected to struggle a little bit on a kind of newly formed team. I think also the new IGL we heard Zeppa
Oh, yeah.
mention it.
Dude,
It's a lot
they
more
got
calm
12
vibes,
days
you know.
off.
Oxy is the life bringer into this team. They live and die by this kid. He is incredible. But once he
mean,
figures
that's
out
awesome.
this system for Mitch and they get situated, this is hilarious, actually.
That's the only thing that kind of like worries me a little bit. Is like
The sad
I
after
hope
the
he's
match.
just memeing.
You missed the map 3 of the Fnatic game. Is it
you
worth
know how
watching?
important
For
confidence
sure.
Yeah,
It's
especially
the best
on the
map so
duelist
far.
role.
It's
And the
everything.
thing is
This year.
when he gets going,
Yeah.
it's like a mini version of Concon.
Yeah, every
like, he
cell in
just
his body
takes
thinks
over-
he's getting the kill.
He takes over the entire server when
But
he's
this is not necessarily a bad thing if you're a Cloud9 fan right here. Because
What's that? That's
I mean,
terrible.
that's concerning, but I think he's doing okay. No, but like the fact that the strat for Cloud9 was Oxy go kill, right?
Yeah.
To know that you have another
This game,
player
C9
who can pick
MiBR.
up the reins, who can pick up the slack, and like make
So
you
I'm leaning
look
towards
good,
C9,
is super
but I can
important.
see it going either
And
way.
We haven't even talked about, but
I
Vic
think it's
is
too
another
early
one
for
they've added
MiBR,
in that
but-
same role where I think that takes a big weight off of Oxy's shoulders. Because Vic
Yeah, I
is
don't know. I
one
think
of those
C1
aimer, he's an
won.
aimer on controller. He can close
Depends
out
how
rounds,
MiBR
and he
look,
doesn't
depends
make
what the maps
play,
are.
Right? He's not going to be the guy that loses you the early round, which is something that someone like
Those
Oxy
early
needs.
for
because
MiBR,
he's
yeah,
down to
it looks
lose
a
the
little bit
early
rough.
round.
Yeah.
He usually wins the early round.
He will live and die by the sword. I do have to say,
Arch,
Mitch's
thank you so
IGLing
much for
on
the
this
tier 1. Appreciate the
team,
25
it's
months.
looked
Thank
very
you,
good
thank
so
you.
far, even though he's gone up against very
Like a
tough
60-40?
opponents. I think G2 was just a
Yeah, I
really
think
big
that's
test,
fair.
and I think now that Mitch
I'm
sees,
not even sure
okay,
many
this is
people
the
give
level
them
that I have to
60,
get
but
at,
Yeah.
I think
C9
that
are
is
gonna look
fair.
very good.
And I actually like what
Have I seen the
Zeppa said about
TMB
Mitch's
video talking about
IGLing,
the 32
calm
rounds? No,
aspect
but I
of
knew
it,
it'd
because
happen.
we
That's
got the
straight up free
listen-ins
content.
over the offseason, and Rossi was.
Am I not streaming
he
on
was ruled
YouTube?
like a
I should be.
dictator over there. I'm not gonna lie. He was owning.
Unless I messed up.
He was like next
Nah, I
level
got a YouTube
owning
chat here.
and
These guys see it.
really microing the entire team
I
around
might have
him.
to search for
But
it.
what Zeppa's
I
saying
don't
is
know.
that's not
I
the
don't know.
5-1
I felt like I did it
control.
right.
And what they have is something that they're comfortable with now.
Right. Well, if we're looking at the other side there, Oxy, we said, had a slow start.
Do I
Aspas
use
also a slow
restream?
start,
Yeah,
but
I
he
do.
managed to pick up the slack a little bit.
Yeah, it's still not anything to write home about. Like his performance, yeah, he was the only one that I think went positive, or maybe barely negative, I believe, in this. you know what you're gonna get out of Aspas, but here's the main thing that he needs to do, and this is what you brought up earlier, Sean, is can he step up to the plate and be an actual leader for a team, because he hasn't really had to do that.
Did you see last game when Cortezia refused to warm up because Riot didn't let him use true stretch on the prac PCs? Wait,
so
what?
now is his opportunity to become an actual leader.
Why would they not let him use that? Also, I would still probably warm
There were
up.
moments in the past where he did play a big part in the macro strategy. We heard it last year for Leviathan. He needs to do it again.
Right on, now it is time for our second elimination match of the day. So let's get ready for all the action and send it over to the stage.
It's weird though. Is that true?
Riot Games Arena, it's time to get the second elimination match started. Let's hear it for your first team. It's Cloud9.
Wait, Jay, you not trolling or not? Just didn't warm up. I mean, honestly, if that was me, I'd just be like, yeah, sure, I won't use the res. And then as soon as they leave the room, you just use the res.
Not without a lot of positive takeaways, though. Standout individual performances and a showcase of a lot of initiative.
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup again for this MiBR team. Cloud9 has a lot of similarities in explosiveness as 100 Thieves in my eyes. They kind of see eye to eye in how to approach the game.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Days. And so the question is what game does Cloud9 bring? Do they have the confidence like they had against NRG, or is it, you know, a little bit lackluster like versus G2? And we don't know which Cloud9 exists this year.
Não tem mais espaço para erro, mas fiquem tranquilos que eles têm o GOAT. Façam muito barulho pro MiBR!
The expectations for the teams were high coming into this season. Highly decorated star, Aspas alongside Nazwar finally together, leading some really exciting rookies. The pieces are all there.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to see specifically Cortesia and Artizine step it up big today, because they both were really
Good Desp, man. Desp is hyped. Desp is ready for this game.
Tell the entire story. They don't paint the entire picture.
I feel like every Brazilian game I've watched so far, there's been a 7-1 Desp.
Need to just get it
And it's actually right.
Have a great match and
Been
build up a
non-stop
little
since
bit of
been
their
there.
own confidence if they want to make a deeper run into this tournament and keep their lives.
You're just translating what he said? Oh, okay. Honestly, I thought that was you, dude. I thought you were giving us a little pep talk.
Trailing is a lot of set plays that help these players
I
really
respect
settle
that,
into the
Des.
game. So if they get the
I thought that was
pep
just
around,
you
they can
just
go
being like,
into
these
a
are my
set focus,
thoughts.
into an ult
What I'm
play,
thinking, this is
and
the team.
really get their feet under them at that moment. And that's when someone like Aspas can really just dominate the game.
Yeah, he can end the rounds for you.
Yeah, I really did, man. I really did.
Yeah, you're right. The utility,
Okay.
even in that last series that they played,
Give me some
it was
maps.
a little bit off.
Yeah.
And I don't
Give
know
me
if
some
that's because
maps,
they were rattled.
and
I'm expecting to see
yeah, I haven't seen
them
Abyss for a
make lot
while.
of those changes,
I wouldn't say
especially
no
since
to
we're
it.
gonna be on Lotus.
I'm alright with it. It's been a long time. I haven't seen Abyss today, I don't think. Unless there was one in China that I forgot, and honestly, there might have been. I think there was.
Oh yeah.
Lotus and Abyss.
Lotus, Abyss, and Pearl.
Cloud9
Sure.
played both these maps just against G2 like the other day, so a good opportunity right now for Fraud.
Easy picked it out of here. Yeah, we missed that one, man. We were watching that.
Cloud9 like to approach
In the
this
banger
map.
game.
I'm worried though. On this Americas stage, I've seen so many teams start on the defensive side of Lotus and just go down. They spiral so hard. It happened to MiBR in their opening game. They picked Lotus in that game.
Wait, I say Lotus
and they
weird?
started on
Surely
defense.
not.
Here, they didn't even pick it, but they opted to start on defense.
Perhaps they had incredible ideas, but they never got to show us because
Whoa.
they got run at. And here is the agent select. What are you thinking, guys?
Not a surprise. I don't think that anyone wants to make a crazy change, you know, this early on, and it could really. Oh, as I say that, I literally bite my words because this is a completely new composition. But you know what, Sean? I think this makes sense because the utility timings that they were running with the Tejo.
I hope they just don't turtle with the Vice. Like, a lot of people turtle up with the Vice. I think they can go a little bit aggro.
Right, our teams are ready for the first
Dude,
pistol
Aspas is
round.
just
Let's
chilling
send it over
already.
to your casters making their 2025 debut. Please give it up for Vansoli and Riv.
You know how Clove? Nah, not on this map.
Thank you so much, Zoe in the desk. Yes, we are ready to get into game 2 here. It is going to be a good one. Cloud9 taking on
Pearl's getting picked a lot. Pearl is getting picked a lot,
having a
yeah.
bit of games under their belt, still feeling that loss from G2, but we're waiting to see what MiBR can bring to the table.
Yeah, no matter what, this has been a wake-up call for
Feels like
both
the MiBR comp is kind of the standard now.
MiBR side because you did have
Where, yeah,
Shenop
honestly,
and Artesia, and they were
it does feel like it's pretty much becoming the norm.
We talked about the jitters.
The Vice is the Sentinel.
Artesia was mentioned before in the interview with Dan Dryad, but also you're looking at this one here for C9. They're playing against a G2, realizing
Alright, so C9 picked this one. Am I a Clove hater? Nah, I think Clove's pretty legit. You have to have like a different game plan for sure, and you have to have the right person on Clove, but I'm so fine with Clove. MiBR on defense, C9 on attack.
Looks like they got a comp that needs to be active as well.
I think with the ping nerfs as well, Clove's way more viable. Yeah, it's so... This comp here, Cortesia's done incredible because it's actually so hard to play over towards site with these hits. The worrying thing for C9 is there are some demos out there, so...
If they can get the positioning to get this spike down for a slight positional advantage.
And MiBR played in numbers, but the thing is, they allowed C9 to actually
You can just infinitely get more value out of the Omen. Yeah, in majority of situations.
Push forward, trying to scale a little bit with Vic on the help there. There's two quick ones coming in from Cloud9. It looks like they'll be able to clear the rest of MiBR, and that's one round for C9.
And that's the thing, when you look at
Wall over towards Waterfalls, they don't have to worry. Everyone focuses over towards Heaven, and they just absolutely pop them. Hopefully we get Vic's POV.
Now they're going potentially to their comfort pick, what they practiced on during the offseason.
What I was going back to saying with the Clove Omen, you gotta, like, it's all about the after plant smokes or the smokes when you die.
Yes, they tried to go for the 3-2-1s here, but all individual tight angles held by Cloud9. That was so clean at the start, and this is a great start for C9 fans and for C9 themselves.
So smart, being able to
yeah, I mean it was a 3v5 at one point there. I do think that MiBR maybe messed up a little bit by all grouping, because as soon as this wall goes down, like literally no one has to even worry about here. Apart from the angle. Spam of C hits already, and again they're gonna make it so feel like you can't play over towards C, and this afterplant's pretty strong once we start getting the deadlock wall down. And at one point, MiBR are gonna have to prove they can hold C or go aggro C.
C9 did these buys yesterday. You see a few kills.
Keep an eye on Oxy, so fine for him to farm with this gun, to be honest, or at one point maybe switch guns, so he can get this ult online. Definitely what's going to be happening in about 5 seconds. There's a switch of the gun. Oxy gets the ghost, and he's going to absolutely send it.
This again, the combination you have of
chooses Heaven because this is where they all were before.
They actually do have great opportunities to stall now, and it almost looks like C9 really
How much
wants
time
to take
is there on
advantage
this?
of the hit C,
Okay, yeah, dude.
Like
big flash, big stun. One more. Doesn't matter.
That's so cool.
Death
Oxy
works.
gave a stinger to Vic to run forward with the ghost, collect more
Razor.
orbs,
So
they
that's,
save
I mean,
that
that
stinger,
C
they
hit
get
just
out
becomes a
every
little bit
little
stronger
thing
with that
being
Razor,
thought
that's for
about
sure.
placed here by
And
C9, as MiBR is looking to get themselves into that spike.
almost an extra one on top of that.
Stuff there to send your duelist in.
Yeah.
And as they preface at the desk, you know, we were like on quote-unquote fraud watch for Zeppa. He really lit up the scoreboard in the last 2 games. And
I'm seeing a lot of people not moving for MiBR.
I was struggling a little
Feels
bit.
like a tech boss.
He was like 1-7 in his last matchup against G2. So this gives him a chance now to say, okay, well, people are actually trying to shut down Zeppa this time around, who hasn't had too much value yet in terms of firing power. But Oxy, if he's going to start waking up, that's 2 players now that MiBR
There we
has
go,
to take care
yeah.
of.
It's so true. I
Tech
still
balls
remember
nice
the
and
quote from
early.
Doug too when they were in a timeout. He's like,
Maybe
Zeppa had
Weird
19
does
kills in
cast
the first
chat. Every
half
game
of
we
the
watch does a
first
tech
map, and
balls.
then it was like 8 rounds in the second map first half, and he already had 16. So you're right. They're going to be gunning for him, and it might free up Oxy a little bit to get that momentum going.
And Baby Bear was also mentioning on that to chime in along that was Zeppa had 2 ults already in like 7 rounds or 4 rounds or something like that. So he was definitely on fire at that point.
I'm
But
good to go
unfortunately
now.
here we have a little bit of a tech pause. We have a little bit of audio issues that we're going to try to fix over at this point. But again, this is an MiBR that comes back into this game, backs against the wall, but also a debut stage for a lot of these players.
He
and when
taped
Cortezia
it
was
in
mentioning,
his,
yeah,
into
this is a
his
little bit tough for me in the first game. It's different when you're playing from home versus on the stage.
What
but
is
to
this
have,
tech?
you know, Noswer, to have Osmo,
No wonder you got a
also
tech
have
pause, mate.
Vaughn,
I'm not
who's
sure
been a
that's how they should be
Counter-Strike champion
working.
back in the 1.6 days for so many years. There's a lot of veterancy that could really help the newcomers to really step up to the game.
Absolutely.
And I think that MiBR could get an upset win or a deep run here in this kickoff, it's kind of unfair to add that much pressure into this newly formed team in the very beginning.
Yeah.
And you're expecting
Right into
with
the
this
fire.
exactly, and you're expecting in this with this roster, it's going to switch around in like mid split 1, split 2 potentially, and then we'll see that team here, the vision that MiBR was building with this roster.
Yeah, I mean, we heard Baby Bay saying he was playing
He's
the
up for the
retake
bonus?
simulator the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
time, right? So it's kind of like
They're
he
in a great
wasn't able
spot.
to get into the fights. Did we really even see a lot of play from him? So also, to that point, the team needs to stay alive on the other side. They need to adjust and push and pull a little bit.
Yeah,
So if
I've never seen anyone
Cortez
have to do that.
is going to get that push up, is going to get that flank, there's some time there.
And you bring up a great point.
Bro, this guy can't be
staying
taping
alive,
his
that's
ears every
something
single
that was
time,
a
man.
struggle
Let's get him some. Either MiBR or someone in Riot. Surely we gotta give him some in
They
ears.
played a composition that Sean was mentioning, and I do agree with him. They tried to plug and play this Breach and Teo.
Right.
The Asuna Neon was just running by through everything.
How'd you counter the Raze Rocket?
And now you have this
It's
change
rough,
as,
man. You
Artazine
gotta fight
playing this
early,
fight where you have
maybe you
Forestall
can
with the
TP
free
away
wall
with the
that's
two people that can
unbreakable,
TP
so
out of
you have
there.
an opportunity to really break
Like
the waves of hits
the
that are coming
Omen
through
or
the
the
execution for
Raze.
Cloud9. Let's say they're
So you
going
can
to try to work
movement,
towards
diff.
Rumble. That wall is going to block vision of how they could fight and take control of
Could
Rumble
use
to
the
A
wall
side.
over towards
So it gives you
C
an
and then have the
opportunity
Raze
for
on site, so
MiBR to
they
really slow down the pace and start
Raze gets
hopefully playing their
isolated.
own game and take the driver's seat, in this map.
Well, could it be
I mean-
on the bonus round?
Gotta imagine
They're
they
still
see hit
actually kinda
here.
put down to the light
Yeah,
armor here.
I'm
See
looking
if
at the
we're
pings as
reaching
well.
the pockets
This might be 3 in a row for the C hits. We've got
Important thing
Tail
here,
over
we talked about
towards
just
A,
Oxy
and
going
it
to
might just be
farm
damage
some
to make sure
kills,
they
and
don't
with
cross.
his death already has a showstopper
No,
in the bonus
nothing.
round,
Not
which
even.
is
Just
actually
seeing
so
if they
strong.
go close to see how many people are going aggro, Utah-wise.
The C side, the condition continues to be very good for Cloud9.
Yeah, they're in for it. We've got Nade to break all of the Fawns that might be here, and Razor goes in. And that is a great stun on top of this. And honestly, the whole planning from MiBR, in my opinion, is a little off. But they nice shot.
We're back into the site. Didn't expect this just as fast or working now. Kind of one by one right now, and it works for a few kills, leaving a 2v2.
And Osbos is still alive here. Both of them working together. Oh, the wall
Yeah, I don't know if it's like me knowing more how C9 would like to play that is like biased on that, but I think you got to expect that C hit. And then I think the Vice wall into the Raze on site so you can out movement diff would have been the one.
There's one.
Nicely done from C9. That's the bonus hit. MiBR going to have a rough harvest looking like.
Pick up the bonus. Good damage though.
Yeah, I thought the plan could have been better. Dude, when are they gonna fight early C or change up their C? Shout out to I mean, honestly the stun was everything.
Nobody could swing towards that front. You focus on that pillar so that those anchored players, every time they're trying to play retake so far, they were stopped by next utility. So the idea for MiBR there, let's try to stay inside the site. We have the crossfire set up, and then now it's just too much
MiBR's map? No, this is C9's map. Nate Teva, let's check the timing on this one. Chris?
What a round for Oxy to have an outlaw. He's looking at a bunch of money in front of him now. He'll take a rubble control and just try to sort out MiBR to start off round 4.
Yeah, and it's a quick round for MiBR. Quick decision, too, to go for a stinger by around Sheriff. So hoping for some long-range pop shots and play with the stack.
Okay, I like this from C9. We're doing another, I'm pretty sure we're about to do another C hit though. Pressure over towards A, keeping a lot of people over towards A, maybe a little pressure in terms of the potential of splitting over towards B. This is good to do against this comp because normally it's a lot harder for Prowlers to actually clear like anything deep. Especially as they use the Fade Eye in the initial hit, like C9 have a good amount of time. I like this from MiBR. Prowler close, nothing close, and now they got a 3-person stack. They don't have the guns, but they got the numbers there.
Quick salvo goes out.
Tail Yuto goes in. We got Nade in case you try and take the timing back there. Yeah, maybe be better, but okay, they get cancelled really because they realize there's a lot of people here. They open the door, pivot over towards B. Yeah, and this is nice smoke and nice pathing from Oxy to get him over towards site.
Fortunately, though, for MiBR, not too
They
much
feel kind of in control here, C9. No one's panicking, everything's nice. Simple plan, but it's working well.
If they're able to find the correct timing coming out of heaven.
One smoke out, quick paranoia
Omen
back.
flash for Omen flash.
Beautiful job by Ospas. They're going to throw 3 in from heaven here and
When
just
does
try
Mitch
to
send it?
waterfall into the site, but Mitch and Matt aren't going to let it happen. C9
Very,
have their eyes
very
on the
nice.
prize, and that's going to be a quick 4th round.
You can see a timeout from MiBR. They're going to go aggro A. Aggro C, sorry.
2 of his teammates were hit by that paranoia thrown by Shinom, but as soon as that happens and, you know, you had to stall in Oxy was able to just hold them back. You saw the swing coming out from Mitch is just really good in terms of coordination. Something that I actually want to praise Cloud9 for too, in a change that they've done from last year into this year. They're a little bit more coordinated in terms of how they want to set up for these trades. A lot less 1v1s and hero plays that they're trying to do. So I'm loving the look that we have from C9. Something that was doubted by the community when this team came together going into kickoff because of all these last-minute changes.
We were watching their fracture
Okay,
match as well.
they don't need the timeout. They just go for it on their own accords, just fighting over towards C. D9 changing up a little bit, wanting to burst over towards B. As soon as that door gets open, they got to cancel on this.
But also making sure he's doing what the team wants him to do.
Yeah, it feels like there was a little bit of a miscomm cut out from MiBR because they tried to go
Coach
potentially
is going to hit the player comms? Yes, so he
right
honestly might have heard that they called that they need to go aggro C and was like, well, I'll wait with the pause.
They keep doing this. They make MiBR.
They said everything that I wanted them to talk about.
Freely hit a site. Oxy has to be
Oxy isolated.
used to this position, being alone across from the team. And nobody's even peeking. MiBR is giving so much space, but finally Artson's able to trade. The rest of the cavalry comes through now. C9's going to set up in sight with an ice wall on
it. One more.
Quick trades by MiBR. Kind of scattered in sight now as Vic is firing for the last shot. A bit scattered there as it's a back and forth right now, but it's going to be Ospas up top.
Okay, nicely done there on the board. On the board, 2 people surviving, so still, C9, good chance to reset this.
And being able to set up this Omen and Raze together with the Showstopper so they could stall towards the C site and fight back towards the C site. But if nothing happens, you have the back pocket, literally a Showstopper from a retake. But if not, change that util. I love the wall that was being placed.
If you press the button to call a timeout and decide you don't want it, can you cancel it? Not when I was coaching, so unless they changed it in the last like 2 years, I don't think you can. I think once it's pressed, it's going through.
Very nicely done here to stall the push from MiBR, and that's the start that you want.
Maybe the tech's improved these days, but I'm not sure. I don't think so.
They're taking mound control. They were taking rubble
I think you're
control
committed
from
once you
MiBR
press
side
it.
before to get a read on C, so they should have a read on A
In
now.
the good old days of Val, yeah. It's been a while.
Shut down C9. Ospas could use that Showstopper as well as Steel Guard and that ult from Cortezia.
Yeah. And he's playing way back towards the A site. The flash that he
Okay, big change up from C9. A default, open the door, pressure created. No real backup plan, they're kind of just committed. As we can see, they're pressuring over towards B, but they are ending A.
Right through baby door. Yes.
Yeah, they love that.
Oxy
gets out of there, does Aspas overcommit.
By the paint shells forced back, and this is going to fizzle out before he even finds a kill.
Okay, very nicely handled from C9 on this one. Good util, nade and the stun. And they made sure that Oxy went first so he could satchel out. MiBR have got to feel confident that it's A because Xenom's just holding all of this. They're really going to hit B from 5 people here? Oh my god, but they just go into a crossfire and they're dead, right?
They don't know about Shenum. A quick hit and Shenum plays his life.
Wait, is that meant to say it? Shenum?
What's from that going to do though? Obviously seeing Juan Cortezia just
on
the other
how do I
side
pronounce
of it.
this guy's name?
Mouse here as the spike is planted and MiBR has to move.
It is Shenum?
That's staying far behind, so they isolated him. They can fight back towards the spawn.
Quick hits there. Cortezia comes up with a big one, but they're going to be pushing forward off of that. Mitch answers. Artsine brings it down to a 2v2, and Mitch is low, limping around that heaven area, trying to get the Arsenal back up.
That's how you pronounce the X, like a sh?
It's just past half, fans. Looks like they're going to be able to get it. Shenum coming up big as the defuse happens inside by
I wasn't super convinced by this from C9, because as soon as this guy gets the kill, I don't know, it becomes so hard. You got like no map control and then you're in a freeway crossfire. Like on paper, I don't love the strat.
Losing a lot of players in the process, but we talked about that important position that Shenum had in front of B.
And
really delayed things around him.
be
Look
great.
at that on the retake. He's still playing in the front. So for C9 saying, okay, well, we're not going to try to push him back. We'll play inside the site. They got sandwich cornered. Nothing they could do. Even the grab net thrown by Net is not going to do anything there because there's no aftershock to help out to really take the diffuser off the spike. So MiBR.
Just curious, because it was a good question about the cancel of the timeout.
A pit dropped early by Artesi.
Oh, Rolling Thunder goes straight through, and the whole team is
Oh
here.
man, this guy's in trouble. Prius, you gotta lock in, mate.
Artson finds it with a shorty. Net's actually just one tick away from dying. Anything hits him and he falls. What a stall again by MiBR. They figured something out here, even if it's an ult to be used at the beginning of the round.
But that's the spike too. Mitch moved in together thinking that he had his teammates behind with him, but the thing is trying to pressure into that pit. They got stopped by the wall set up by Cortezia. So the study
The
of the
Vice the Vice was doing a lot. Yeah, I like this. I like. I mean, it's similar to how people used to use the Cypher trip in the Vice, or sorry, in the Viper. Or, there's too many agents now. I always say Breach when I mean Brim, or Brim when I mean Breach. Now I'm worried that it's gonna be Viper and Vice.
Let's see what the power players can do here. Possibly get a hit as well from Zeppa and Net as they get into the site, but it looks like MiBR is so ready.
Second wave too, so you have Util coming through, you heard the salvos, and now double walking in. Crossfire is beautiful though.
When he got double. Okay, lovely. It's been convincing from MiBR. We're getting money on the board as well.
Artizine's the one that's getting 3 kills with a shorty from inside this pit, starting with his first one here.
Did I watch the Cuba Academy video? No, it's just them just announcing the team though, right?
Nothing you can really do. Everybody's actually losing HP going inside that pit. So Artizine had so much value with the shorty. Look at that. It's just too nice.
Very confident play from MiBR here. None of the kind of
Has Prius ever locked in during the history of Val? Surely once. Surely once or twice.
It was like they were playing injured, and they were kind of, they didn't want to hurt that injured foot a little bit more, so you peak a little different, you play a little different. Seems like they have gotten that out of their system. No longer an injured MiBR. They're coming out strong here, and they're looking to tie up the game. Getting C9 to call a timeout.
Yeah, a naming timeout. That's, I wouldn't necessarily say early in this half, but
As a power creep in Valorant is about like League where there's a new character and it's always the best. Nah, it hasn't kind of really been like, it was like that for like the first 2 years, maybe 2.5 years, and then every agent was like really underpowered until the most recent agent.
It didn't look too good on that B-side hold. No. So now you want to have to iron that out a little bit more. Go back into the work towards the A-side.
And then it's been
where they're able
it's
to
been
beat
alright.
that utility from MiBR, force MiBR also to use mid-run util to find info, and then hoping to be a
Chamber,
little bit
yeah,
more
Chamber was really strong. Astro Chamber, and then ever since those 2 agents, they just made sure there wasn't like a.
Shadow alive in any of these.
I think every agent they just made sure it was just a little bit less powerful, and then they can kind of tweak it up. Fade was pretty good on release, yeah, but it still wasn't the levels of Chamber Astra.
You already see it now. They started with pain
It
shells.
was probably like,
being used by MiBR.
I still don't know if Astra is better than Chamber. I still rate it as Chamber, then Astra, then probably Fade. Dude, whoa, how? That was sick, bro. Dude, this replay is gonna be nuts. It's actually just popping in all of them.
Really didn't even make it into sight. They just got spammed through the smoke and couldn't even.
I promise he's not cheating.
If you consider it being that.
Really did look like it. That was nuts.
There looked like they
There was no fade eye, no nothing. He's just going for it.
In that piss around, they did a good job.
So I think Lotus is a well-designed map. I think the 3 side maps are the best in this game, yeah.
Don't even break the razor vines, which allowed here Artizine to
I think 3 side maps suits this game down.
Release Zeppa for now. Guardian shot in the beginning.
Quick salvo. Tall task.
Okay, very nice.
The trade's gonna be there for
Fiddling with the Prime, thank you so much, bro. Thank you.
And they get a few more alt orbs
Thank you for that, mate. Welcome into the Slug Club.
Nightfall coming in from Nazwar, so able to use that, able to figure out if they do need to retake the site where their opponents are going to be. Really, and they've had that
Fracture. I've been enjoying Fracture recently. Yeah, look at this, man. Oh my goodness.
Actually,
you'll look at that exactly. He's able to get 3 kills like that. So the fact that they don't have to use.
Pix just looking at his teammate like, wait, what happened? And then he gets insta pop.
Start cycling these ultimates that are getting very close on the defensive side too. Most importantly,
best Teo player so far in terms of like utility and fort. We're gonna have to go with Trent on that.
Since that round number 4,
I like what Sentinel's doing. I like some of the stuff that C9 are doing. There's been some like heavy fraggers, but yeah, it was a nice showing. I like the 100 Thief stuff as well. That was cool. Basically, all of the Americas teams that use it. That's what I'm liking the most. Heretics used it alright. I don't like some of the Heretics stuff.
Okay.
Random spray through the smoke and Cortezia falls, and that's.
Yeah, am I thinking the right team? It was Heretics, right?
Util already gone.
This is the C smoke spam game seems to be happening right now. I'm sure Mitch is very happy to see that, and he's going
Cowan's
to
in.
organize
He
the
just kind of
team to
fragged
go
out heavy
across the
though, more
map,
than good
choosing
util.
where the solo Shunn'em player is, and they should be able to hit this quite hard.
I mean, you already see it after losing so much utility on that C site. Now
But it feels like when there's a comp that like really combos well, that's when you get in the most into it. So it might not be the player's fault.
The call from Nosware is to continue to stack towards C. If anything,
What have we got, dude? Let's see it.
He's got the TPs, and he can play the retake once again with a splash.
Beautiful trade. Oxy still gets one though. They're going to be able to take site.
It's still probably around for C9, but
still there, but it's going to be a tough consideration with Zeppa's ult.
Ball Trace with the Prime. Thank you so much as well, dude. Appreciate using the Prime on me. Thank you for the support, mate.
On this A side, the delay that they have around this composition to utilize this salvos.
Welcome into the Slug Club. Thank you for that.
On that spike and to guarantee that round.
Yeah, it's a really hard retake.
The last time they played on this map too.
Oh, they put the Fado into it. I'm not sure about this one, but let's see. It's a nice kill. Good nade. They still got 2 trips on the spike, and then as soon as the trips go off, we're going to see the tail. How did he try and do it? Straight line? Ooh, we're tanking it. We're tanking half. Yeah, not sure about that one, but honestly, if his teammates won other duels, he would have been a hero. Yeah, I like it though. I like it with the deadlock trips. It's cool.
And I get it that you have to stick the spike because, again, you have to think about the salvos after the Armageddon coming out here from Zeppa. So you have to make sure here that you at least
The ult, yeah, mate, the ult just melts you. If you run and you get the timing really good with a knife out, you can tank 120. But you have to get like perfect timing. It's gonna melt you basically.
While you're defusing, but it's just too good. Cloud9 had a great crossfire setup, and they finally turn it back.
Sundance 30 with the Prime. Thank you so much as well, dude. Thank you for doing that. Thanks for 11 months. The post plant util setups are so boring. Yeah, we did get rid of the spam, and then they put the best post plant agent in the game. In terms of this, well, is it the best?
Look, he's playing mid, so he can get
it's the easiest. Let's say the easiest.
They've just made a home here, a second home.
Point and click.
And this is the fact they did this before. That was actually the way they got the showstopper out of B last time, but nobody's buying it. MiBR knows that these fakes are so abundant from C9 in this first map.
You see the change too. Finally taking advantage of that smoke.
Yeah, they need to try pressure back over towards A. We still got the drone, so it should be like drone, stun, and then smoke here, and then hope the Omen TP's away. Let's see, drone goes in, smoke goes out, stun, Omen TP's away, enough pressure for them to instantly hit over towards here, because everyone should be, as we can see, shifting over one. This is nice from C9. Just all about dealing with the 2 on site here. And we got all the...
Ready to go either way, so they have to be quick. Here's the flush, here's the rush. It's going to be Oxy again. Picture perfect, and a deja vu from him as he hits backside. The rest of the team follows
Omen ult to try stop the plant on this one.
Too easy.
We got no flash. We got a Raze ult, but it would be incredibly bold.
Very difficult for the last 2, but at least 2 players
It's
of
doable.
C9 or
42
low.
HP, 31 HP.
Really big for MiBR.
I think C9 out of the most teams prefer... That's probably the most use of regen shield I've seen. C9. They use it by far the most. God, I'm really nervous this guy's just going to get spammed.
Big's first contact.
Waiting for that head peek. Get the quick swing coming out of Net. Not even going to peek just yet as Net is low. He leaves it up to last second. Aspas still finds him. This is what we talk about.
Looks like it's a little bit of a shallow plant.
Finding half defuse, and now he's got to figure out where it's coming from. Here's a shot from Vic.
Watching Aspas.
Oh, he's gonna
Didn't
pop
Aspas get half?
with the blast pack. So Vic hits the shot as he's forced to peek.
Aspas got half, dude. That's the first time we've ever seen Aspas. No joke, I'm not even like memeing or anything. First time we've ever seen Aspas actually just insta get half.
A rare miss in terms of utility from one of the best duelists, if not the best duelist that we currently have here in the VCTs, leading the charge in terms of kills since the VCTs have started. And sometimes, you know, the best of the best can make those small mistakes, and Vic takes advantage of that on that 1v1.
Got it half because of the nade? Yeah, but I'm telling you, it's still the first ever time I've seen it. Like, obviously it makes sense, like in the situation, but he would always top that.
And just slotting in with this team like it's been so many years.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff from him so far.
And right now there's a timeout being called by Fraud. You want to start reeling things back, but thankfully here for
Wait, Sonia, really? Okay, hold up. Sonia, give me the link on Discord and let me. The bunnies are fighting chat. Give me. I need this timeout. Give me 20 seconds.
That C9 or actually baiting that util that we're talking about here from Vice. So after they bait it through, they don't have too much util in the mid round to figure out really what C9 is going to try to, or where they're going to try to end up. So you do want to start being a little bit more proactive here in terms of map space that you want to gain for MiBR. At least shut down that lane if you're seeing that it's very quiet for C9 and are defaulting.
Yeah, I think one of the things with MiBR's map grab is they're so easily giving it up. Yeah. Like C9 is bringing the whole pile, all the cooks to one spot, and they push off Shenum, right? Yeah. And they figure that's okay, so they go back to the other side, and they're just getting that bit of information instead of MiBR saying, yeah, Shenum's pushed up, let's bring Aspas and Nazwa as well and see if they walk into us. Because C9 is never ending the first spot. So I feel
Dude,
like
I hear them chasing each other and then just thump.
Scaling the position they first push.
We'll see what happens.
To refuse to
I
get
think
on.
It's also like just trying to take advantage of this re-hit from C9, not only playing for delays, but you need to add more on top of the delays here so that you really don't allow these late bursts also to happen from the C9 camp. And to kick things off, we talk about
Where are we at? 2 rounds. MiBR scored a timeout, right? And they don't change too much other than like fighting heavier on the site. And it looks like we're going to have a different reaction over towards A as well. So pushing behind, making sure that we're retaking C.
Trading shots through the
Where does Zeppa look incredibly on
See
this?
if they can get any of those trades back. That util.
Wait, how have they actually got this read?
Seems like smokes will always be the beginning of these two series on Lotus. Attempting it once again as the gas comes back up, and really just a stalemate right now as MiBR is not giving up that util C9 usually sees.
He's trying to save a little bit of that fuel because they still have a snake bite with this crossfire setup.
Very, very patient on this one. 3 people over towards it, fighting on site again. And shout out to Vic. TP out over towards site. They didn't realize they didn't have sound maybe or something. I'm not entirely sure. That's a great shot though. Oh my goodness.
But for how long?
He crawls around the corner. He's alive. Nice shots.
Shenum and Aspas already there. The timing has been perfect, and Nazwa's damage from the back of the site leaves Mitch alone, leaves him in a very troublesome spot.
Very, very nice from MiBR. I felt like C9 had a read because honestly, who was this?
Perfect. Yes, some teammates are falling down, but you've done some good damage.
I want to say Zeppa, but I'm not sure. It was just holding behind the whole time. And then it got to like 50 seconds and then he left. It was Zeppa, yeah.
Long enough, even avoids getting hit by the grab net aftershock, and even gets a kill on top of that.
Yeah, I like the change up.
To flank from behind. And you also saw the setup from MiBR before they started flanking. The first contact wasn't going to be Aspas at that point. It was going to be Shenum on the top of the rocks, so they can, you can actually get the first
last round, we got an Omenal. If you want to create a bit of pressure, maybe we rotate, and we've got that Viper ult again, and we're having that Viper set up over towards C. Or Viper ult, C is on absolute lockdown.
Credit to them. Figuring out the little things and just slowing C9 down is making them so
uncomfortable. No Viper.
Not too many ults here to be used in the last round. They've been all used to just get us
honestly,
to this
I like that a lot.
Seems like they need to rinse and repeat with them.
C9 may be thinking what I was thinking, that they're going to do the same setup.
For punch here. A lot of A for C9 to start this one off.
C9's another slow default. Probably want to try to make that pit come out as soon as possible here so that they could actually work a better mid round, trying to isolate and understand where this Viper could be playing.
Yeah, every single time they're insta-clearing the info. It's opening to doors and doing too much. C9 haven't taken that much space. Like, they've taken this space, they've cut sound to create the pressure, like they might be going over towards here. We have the Viper literally jiggle peeking, ready to pop. Oh, and then we've got info over towards B.
So he's just jiggling for information while the other ones could actually stack up towards this A site. They still have to stall from Shenum with the flash. The Haunt actually did get too much information here, so that's going to start happening.
Haunt hits the roof, rotate goes in. Yeah, weaker over towards site because of that as well. They would have had 3 persons strong. Nice shot.
Has to force back C9. They get one. A second on the site.
He did great.
Vix able to
Did
transfer
so
that one
well.
over in the trade, though, as Nazor is chasing just
6,
on the heels,
considering the
just on
4-0
his
start.
coattails.
It's very
Right
nice for
click,
MiBR.
Nazor gets the 3K and a 6-6
Really good.
first half.
And that's a great start for MiBR. Really, they're the ones that are playing with nothing to lose because this is a brand new roster going into the stage of the VCTs. Cloud9, you always have that name around, you know, the fan base that you currently have here in North America that will most likely go towards C9 at the very beginning. And a very slow start from MiBR. But now you have the new players coming in and actually shooting.
It's so good. Don't go anywhere. We cut right back with the conclusion of Cloud9 and MiBR after the break.
Solo Sentinel here, do I prefer the Deadlock or the Vice? It kind of depends on the rest of the comp, but majority of the time I would say Vice. I think playing this map without an Info Sentinel can be pretty rough. But the good news with the Deadlock is your Gravnet's so good that you can kind of force over towards aggro A. So they cover it up well, but it's just if they don't force over towards A, that someone could just lurk on them the whole time. Are there any NA games tomorrow? Yes, NA's tomorrow as well. Tomorrow is China, EMEA, Americas. Cortez's aim is very clean. It's incredibly clean. It's one of the best we've ever seen. What comp would I run on this map? I'm a little bit biased, dude. I would run Chamber on this map. I think this is the best Chamber map.
Versus MiBR, and a very different MiBR than I.
Would you play
think everybody was
Chamber
expecting to see, but I think
Nah,
they're
you
happy to see
gotta
it
change it
because
up
they are
loads.
showing some life here. They
You
are
gotta be
showing that
everywhere.
they can control what's going on when it goes wrong, and they can make it right.
It's definitely nothing but big tests for MiBR because Sean mentioned at the desk, they chose this map versus 100 Thieves. They had to start on the defensive side, and they got rolled. And now this time it looked like it was going to be a similar story.
What I think of
until you started seeing
Asuna
MiBR
on
string 4
ropes.
rounds in a row and tie up the game. And
I have no idea
closing
how
out on
Asuna
a
is the
6-6.
most consistent
And that's
fragger
coming
in
into
midair, but he is.
potentially an untested composition against C9. But that shows a lot of work that's been done here behind the scenes by Fraud and how much hours are put into both of these
Okay, if we're
coaches
thinking of
to make
pistols,
sure they
it's
don't get eliminated
0-1,
today.
1-0 to
We start things
C9.
off now in the pistol with MiBR starting very slowly at the beginning of the spawn.
Yeah.
Didn't find any util at all coming in here from Cloud9.
He
Even
practices
Zeppelin
it?
saved
Okay.
Is this going to be a wall coming in?
So lose
here's the
A,
wall. Here's
in
one thing,
reaction,
knows he
drone
can
over
wall
towards
A
middle,
length, but it's
trying
gonna
to
be
punish
free
the
for
fact that
MiBR.
there is
They should have a pretty
no
easy
Killjoy
walk-in setup
turret to
as they
spot
see Mitch for
info.
quick damage to
Turret
the
got
wall.
spotted,
Here comes
so
the salvo
everyone
of the
pivots.
site
We
rush.
got
Cloud9's actually ready to waterfall in here, and MiBR is a bit split for how
Whoa.
they want to defend this. Oxy
Whoa.
and Mitch, quick two to start it off here as they get things
Well,
fired up for C9.
the nice
Now
fast
it's
flood for
just a hide in the
C9.
smoke. MiBR is not looking good for this pistol round.
Just too much going on for Cloud9. Even that wall funnels them into the front
Yeah,
line.
double pistol.
So much util to stall them and allowing for C9 to be able to do what they're good at. Flitting back and training as a team so far this kickoff. And Cortez and Shinam, the new bloods, are going to have to clutch a 2v5.
Fast.
What an
Wow,
awesome
there's some
set
really
of
nice shots from
util. The wall
C9.
to the left there, Van Salvo on the
Really,
spike,
really
and
nice
then
shots from
you
them.
can only hide
I
a
like
tree
this
or
as well
in
from
the
C9.
open.
If
Five
this
shells
drone
on
doesn't
top of
see
that.
anyone, they're going to
Holy
push behind. If it
moly.
does,
At
they
the
go
same
back
time,
over
and
towards
that's a
A,
little bit
fast
of
flood,
C9
wall over the top.
when they played against
East
G2, for
descends.
example. Remember when Oxy was saturating in the front of that B site?
Chat,
He
these-
got
chat,
dropped
these
by
bunnies are
Salvo
really
front line,
clashing.
so
I
you're
might have
really
to
just
miss out the
trying to
Seeker.
funnel everybody towards that right spot.
Might have to
so
separate them for a bit.
MiBR cannot
Yeah,
get
it's so
a plant, cannot
crazy.
get set up in post plant situations, and also forcing players to run right into your crosshair where you're
Let's
just
see.
blitzing there, easy shots you just saw here from the
When
replay.
we clash, yeah, I
Cloud9
must start
have
streaming it.
a great pistol, 2 of them won so far, but to win 2 pistols and make it at 7-6, yeah, MiBR still has a chance.
They are definitely fighting back strong to keep it that way. 2 pistols down, you're right. The C9 will start cleaning up some kills here on this second round, and they should very much be able
Very
to
clean
take
on
pretty
this.
handily. As it's just a sheriff for Osbos looking to find a headshot
Get them in
here,
the
maybe a
octagon.
spike
I
plant
can
to put money in
guarantee,
the
mate.
hand here,
It
too,
is
but it's not
Every single time it's a really one-sided fight.
You're looking at the protocols of a
The
pistol
small
run
one
or eco
absolutely
rather
wrecks the
for
big one
team
every single
losing
time.
The pistol. You want to try to farm up some orbs, trying to bring up the ults here in the later game in the mid half of the half, literally, to try to turn it around and start cycling a little bit of these ults. But C9,
She's vicious.
they held extremities and then made sure that they put the wall into B because
Nate Tansy, that is not a good
trying
idea.
to go for a plan.
Yeah.
That's also gotten delayed by
I wonder
C9.
how annoying Net is going to be here. We saw it A over there with the wall.
Okay.
Now he's got stuff on C, but he walled
Plan.
B this time. So is MiBR going to go a place
Plan.
this time and be like, oh, no, we found the wall again. Slowing down
Any
their
more?
strat. Boss. A bit of damage
Very,
there, but
very
taking
nice.
Oxy will find
Okay,
the
so we
last
got one
two
gun
for
out of
their
him. That
second
is
one in the
it.
second half. And a quick defuse here as they come into the bonus round.
And you'll take this for Cloud9. There was still a heavy investment going
One's borderline
into this
illegal,
second
not
half
even
because- or
borderline,
second
that's for
round
sure
rather, in
illegal.
the anti-eco, because he had an outlaw, a phantom, bulldogs on
I think
top of that, and
forcing
only
sheriffs
losing
when
one
you
player in
don't
the
get the
process,
spike
you'll
down
take
is a
it for
bad
sure here
idea.
for C9, especially with how they were aggressive on those
As
extremities.
long
If it
as
was a
I'm
five-player
kind of
death
fine
ball
with
going
like
out here
one
from
doing
MiBR,
it.
it could have been
I don't
different
want too
story just
many.
on the
We
fight
saw a
fourth down,
game
for
today where
example.
like a lot of people forced
See if they can
like
activate
3 of
Osboss.
them, and then they just
Feel like
went
it's
up
one of
against
the
an
things that
outlaw and everyone had
really
light
allow
armor,
them
and they just got
to
popped.
Put the pressure on C9.
So
Once you unlock him,
it can only be like
you
a
know
few.
he has a server aura.
Like
that
honestly,
everybody
max
has to
2. I
respect.
would
There's
probably
less
only ever say
peeking,
1.
there's less funny
Dude, I'm a
business.
Bucky fan. I would be buying the
Even in the
Bucky
high
instead of
lows
it and just doing
because he
some
will
fast
hit it.
strat.
Can they get him to that
Or
point?
like
Can
some burst
MiBR
strat.
start to get that
Or
comeback
if it's
going?
on defense,
Quick
you're like trying to
salvo,
force them into the
C9
Bucky.
just says nothing will be free to start these rounds. They push out on both sides of the map.
Elizabeth, hello, hello. I'm not doing watch parties with people until split 1. I've already turned other people down. I can't make the exception. But we can do it. We can do it when split 1 is up. If you're down for it.
Trying to fight back in terms of their own util. But this is just going to be a chess match of who's going to start using the second wave.
Oh, giant fault line goes across the team.
Appreciate
They're trying
you.
to get the showstopper in there.
Have a good stream.
There's a nice paranoia from Shanam to actually cancel that. So this gives a chance, despite the player disadvantage for MiBR, a chance to still fight because it's an open A site. They're still working as a team.
We got 5 people.
Osboss even potentially could get higher ground.
He's going to push. Oh, Aftershock just threw his person, but he's going to keep it on this one-way right now. Nice setup. MiBR gets into position quick, and they have pretty decent defensive positions if everyone being inside where they want to be just on that backside. Oh my gosh. Just waiting for the push. Oxy first, maybe. Here we go. The distraction, the paranoia comes through as well. Oxy gets hit there as Noswor's just in the drop.
The
with
recovery is
frag. Oxy
incredible.
coming up big on that as the waterfall into the site is just too much. Cortez
It's the aim beast though, but this should be a good time of a triple swing or a double swing at least.
All 3 members of Cloud9
Okay, very
to pick
nice.
up
C9
another
double
round in their
pistol into
second
double bonus.
Continuing to steamroll in these early halves are
Yeah, they're
Cloud9,
just
but
running
I
off the
gotta
momentum.
say, Osboss did a great job playing on the top of that heaven, but that extra piece of
What
util
comp would
throwing
you
away
run
the
around the
razor
chamber on
lines
this map? I'm
behind
not
those
even
bosses
sure.
could potentially give that tell that somebody already pushed up and already
Raise
had that one way.
tail.
That
Did I
was
have
potentially an
tail?
opportunity here for Osboss to punish somebody that's going to overpeak.
Let me
in
think.
these
I wanna
moments where
take map
C9
control.
Could get caught off in moments like these, and you saw the
Do I
timing.
run
They're trying to
breach
hold
or
back
tail?
towards that drop. It didn't work out
Honestly,
as they
I have no
planned to
idea.
for MiBR because there was
The only one I know
trying to
is
play the salvos
Raise
around that flash,
and
but they throw the salvos a little bit too
Raise
early
and
at that point. So
chamber.
C9 ended up having a clean retake and
KO?
MiBR forcing into
I don't know about
stingers
the
in this round.
KO.
Well, a half buy so they could buy
You gotta
into
have
the
a drone
next
to
and
re-clear A.
leveraging stingers and group play, working in tandem, buddy system, trying to get this plant towards this B site.
Nat utility towards B.
Keep an eye on the stingers. We've got 5 of
If
them.
they do get information
We're
across
in
that
Americas,
B
so we've got to
front
pay
and main,
attention.
really great setups to start, but MiBR has worked around it. They're going to start heading towards A if a possible baby door hit here once they get the motion going.
And it's going to be into Oxy's Outlaw. And I love the scale now. The positive things about MiBR playing this double controller is that they could actually play the surprise game and block these lines against teams that were a little bit too passive.
Honestly, could you run the deadlock
Almost got punished
vice
there,
comp
but at
on
least
this
they know
map?
that the Raze is there with the Outlaw. They pivot potentially for a split to the B site, but it's held off by
I
Nets.
think you could.
So good.
Wow.
You think
Then
no?
off
No,
ball
I
line
think
as
you
well. You
could,
can see
dude.
back from Mitch there as they went through the wall. Such communication from across the map that this team can utilize as Cloud9 stops MiBR's quick push there. The plant will still go down, but a little worse for the wear. All right, Shannon with a great scale push. I don't think they can retrieve that weapon, though. Just guarding each other in sight here. C9 getting prepared to retake, put themselves inside.
Did we right-click that from Oxy or not? Oh, we did. That was nice. Right-click, force him out into the open.
I
think he's so low HP that he just needs to send it and make space for everyone else.
Team starts to fall down around them. Nazar is able to answer, but it's just a stinger. Knowing these Vandals are coming through, they still have to scale just a little bit. Arsene coming up huge with Nazar.
I think
and the two veterans are able to capitalize on the round.
Oh my gosh, that looked like it was going to be a C9.
He's got to send
being
it
able to
there.
play that retake as a group and get into the last second to fuse.
It's a 2v4 with stingers, right?
Out with the net from net.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so it's all looking good, and then
they were starting to use a lot of
then what
util to try to
happens?
push back the defenders towards their spawn, but they're already playing further back.
Yeah,
and they had less util to
being
work with to
coxy
stall
had to
in
send
the
them.
last re-hit from Cloud9. But thankfully, the Stingers were actually really good here onto Artazine and Nosware.
Alright, they should be able to stabilize a little bit now. We got really low money for
Into a
C9.
round, you're going to take that for sure because it adds a lot more room to breathe here for MiBR, who continue to trail behind in the early halves of this map.
Okay, spike down in spawn, so a little bit of a default here. Wow, big push up by Mitch right now. He's going to be giving out calls. Got a judge.
We got a judge close. Yeah, it's incredibly strong. We got MiBR at the same time doing a B into C default. And honestly, this might see the spike. No, okay.
Thought that C9 were
Played
playing
all in front of B though,
control, so
and saw that they went
marked out
through
their
door.
paranoia, opening the wall.
Okay, now they're going to go create
Exactly,
pressure
trying to
over
go for some
towards A,
sort of
but
pinch. So your second wave, the re-hit back into what they want to
what's
try
the
to do here
spacing like?
could be determined right here.
Oh my god, he wrecked him with it.
The jumping headshot.
He absolutely wrecked him. 34, that did so much damage.
Prowler's used up, so they know they don't have the initiator utility to the left side or wherever they are going to hit. C9 is doing really well right now.
Goes in. Vic's playing it like he's got a backup gun. Oh, that grav there was sick. Oh, look at the timing on this. They're going to get no space off of that. Oh my goodness, there's so much spam. That was sick.
The wall that comes up from net.
And stunned again.
And now you have 0 util going into B.
Wow, that's a lovely round to watch.
I feel like
that was
they were
nice from
hearing
C9.
MiBR's comms. Every stun,
It's one of those things where it's like,
shutting down the steel garden.
this is like how it's meant to look for their comp, and we literally got to see everything so perfect. This is how me imagined. This whole round is how Imi imagined it, exactly in his head.
And as that second Prowler comes out, and he's already playing close towards that door, you know that the attackers are going to think, well, that would be way too scared.
Look at Oxy as well as Beast. Dude, the shutdown over towards C was awesome though. Missiles into, sorry, it was Gravnet into nades, into missiles. And maybe there's something else at the end that I missed, but that was awesome. And obviously a smoke.
Falling behind by 3, and you're forcing also the second timeout by Fraud.
It feels like
has no one tried Sova on Lotus? No, there's a good amount of Sovas on Lotus.
He said he wasn't playing so well,
someone was
wasn't
using
on his
it
game,
in Pacific,
20 and 13,
maybe even 2 teams. You
I
had
think he's enjoying this
Navi
one.
and Liquid
He's getting
running
a
it
lot of
last
support from
year.
everybody on the team behind him. A lot of that util is really giving him space.
Yeah, there's
and
2
we're
teams
seeing
in
him
Pacific
first,
running
right?
it. I have
Dashing
no
or
idea who
jumping
they
to the
are.
back of C, jumping there into A, going through into B for the rest of the team. It's been great for the rest of them.
And it almost feels like he's like a fragger just hiding behind the shadows because we're just
Verno used to play it? Yes, Verno used to play it, that's true, in Oxygen.
And suddenly you see here Oxy dropping
I remember
a
his
20
ults.
bomb against MiBR.
But I think they changed
Somebody
it at
that
one point.
wanted to activate a little bit more, saying that he wasn't having
Or maybe
the
it was
best of
before
starts in the
Oxygen
last 2
actually that he
games.
was using it.
Remember, Zeppa, yes,
Might have
is
been
only
the team
at
before that.
8-11, but now you have to start shutting down 2 players at the
Yeah,
same
a bit of a
time
nightmare
for
for MiBR. It just feels like it takes them so long in the half to actually like stabilize and get some money. They just don't give many buy-rounds.
Another one who could drop plus 23 in
Oxy,
series.
20 to
It
13.
looks like he may just do that. He's going to keep going for
Oh,
sure.
yeah,
Got a few
that's
more
exactly
rounds
the
to
one,
do it.
Matix.
And again, just trying to take advantage of the position on map already. Pushed out on the extremities to understand they have rush control, and MiBR can't do anything.
Team
at pace
Secret,
yet.
I think that's right. I think that's who
They're
I'm
going to try to
thinking
go
of.
with similar things, but this time the gamble of just walking through the smoke from Shenom with the spike. It turns out good for them because now they can move through, they can grab an orb.
Yeah.
But that was a high risk for MiBR to just
Okay,
walk
they're
across
planning
like
ahead,
that
and honestly,
because
the
you
next
lose
round's
the
going to be
spike in
pretty
the
sick.
process.
They're going to
And
have
really
Fade
not
Up, they're
trying
going to
to
have
beat util out
Razor.
for Cloud9 by tapping an orb, for example, trying to see if C9 are trying to play these type of trap plays because Net was already there here, pointing toward the front of the C site.
And the call has been made to go B. So they're going to pressure A, but wait, what is the call? Pressure A with the wall prowler. Fake B and hit C? I don't really know what the plan is, unless we're early lurking or something.
They're seeing MiBR go to C, open the door, and take more time, but it is going to be a C hit.
Fake C go into B?
Opens another opportunity, here for Cloud9 to anchor this second.
Yeah, okay.
Attempt to push, yeah.
Oh.
Here it is.
He's absolutely owned him again. And then we can put a breach damage on top of this if you wanted.
But where are they going? They open it again. They didn't want to go that way. The spike was stuck for a second. They're going to try to get through now.
I mean, chat, they're going to run out of time here.
But it's still there. Nat has his hands in every pie at every site. If you just can't get by this utility, Vic's going to be able to clear the site there.
Okay, if you're MiBR, you've got to go a lot faster. C9 are just saving all their util, and every time you're hitting over towards a site or a choke point at like, what, 40, 30 seconds, they're just dumping all their util. Like, they keep getting met by nades that into rockets.
So you can't scale towards that left side. So what does that do? You funnel everybody into a potential.
They have Razor Fatal, so they're going to send it anyway.
Also from Waterfall. This time he holds it solo and still gets a kill because they're playing basically an anti-eco at this point.
Let's go! I mean, look at that. Look what Aspas has to fight around. Look, and people have to push by it and not have a trade from their teammate. The walls, the deadlock util. Nat is making some of these sites so difficult to fight in right now with just that. The deadlock Nat and the rest of the util.
Okay, MiBR, aggro A. Gonna keep an eye on C9 as well. We got Vic, early info. And we got a 3-person stack for C9 with the early info on B. Well, I say early info on B. Early info on C and one holding B.
With letting MiBR take this over because it could still potentially combo more towards
this is nice. We feel like no one's defaulting over towards B. They put the wall down, and now they can kind of lean 4 people here.
Nightfall and caught a fault line for Mitch. Like, you see what kind of timing the MiBR is dealing with. It doesn't affect them too much, but that was going to be their hit.
Yeah, the more I watch this stuff, the more I think the Vice deadlock could be unreal.
Right over the top of one.
What a trade out, big ult.
Stays alive in the situation, only to fall to Mitch.
The edge of the ult hit the Omen as well, and the Omen would have just run it down. It was a really nice breach ult. In reaction, we've got a 4v2. They have one of the better ults for retaking, and they have a drone.
Getting kills and combining off util.
The iPad baby era.
And you can't play a lurk against the master lurker himself, Net, who's been punished here and there, but also
you gotta swing this, you're gonna get droned on.
Super late lurks, just really snuffed down and sniffed out Cortezia, trying to go for that flank in. This is going to be another impossible task for the other rookie in this roster for MiBR, Shenum, on a 1 versus 4.
No way. That was sick. It silenced him, so the TP didn't go off.
Up in a cocoon of utility and taken down by Vic. That's going to be a defuse here as C9 put map 1 on game point.
Yeah, and that was just a Hail Mary, at least to try to get a little bit of a silver lining for MiBR. You look at the economy going into potentially the last round of this first map. It's abysmal. They have nothing left. So
Silence, like the league player. Wait, what's it called in this game? Is it not called Silence? What's it do when KO does that thing?
Recently in the second half.
Depressed. Damn, dude, the League of Legends player in me is coming out. You're right.
With Pedro Romero, he couldn't play that
all those hours on Nidalee. Hansi, why are you question marking me? Isn't it my job? No, it's your job. You should know that. I just call it official, silence, Brimble,
it has been a bit of that
crouch grenade,
like, oh yeah, this is how you do it again.
Razor,
right?
rocket.
Gosh, Vic already with the frag. Just
straight
through the smoke to the back of Mound.
And the Nade canceled the showstopper from Aspas, and that was going to be the Hail Mary potential MiBR.
Molly. Another smoke. Dog.
Straight through. They're going to get locked up. Deadlock util again, but no, Aspas is able to
trade. You got to call them the real names.
Follows in tow. Armageddon right under their feet, but it's not going to cause anybody to go down just yet.
And thankfully, they saved the third player. That was Cocoon. So Nosware, the IGL's back with the team.
Yeah, you gotta go pain shells.
They didn't even realize it, but Arch still gets the flick there.
That's the only bit of util. Aftershock. Yeah, what the hell's the Viper ult called? Hit. Yeah, what's the Viper ult actually called? Snake Pit.
No way that happened.
It's actually called Snake Pit.
Everything was perfect for MiBR to delay here, at least to try to get the plant down.
Viper's
and it's just Oxy running in with the shorty, not giving him a chance for.
Okay, nicely done from C9. They kind of snowballed both the halves there. Felt a little bit sad for MiBR there. It's rough when you lose double pistol, double bonus.
lot of the rounds coming from the ults when they had it, being able to stall a little bit, and really communicating in those hits. But it seemed like if anything was disjointed, they had no chance.
Honestly, Sonia, I
rounds.
think I'll just watch it after the stream, but I appreciate you sending
right
that.
at the right time is tough against Cloud9 when they're going to a site making a util, another site making a util.
Or should I be watching on stream? Problem is I'm gonna have to get Discord open.
At least for now for MiBR is that they could actually fight back and come back in the game. They were able to make it close on the first half. Yes, it slipped on the
Name
second
all of the
half, but
breach
it wasn't their
abilities.
bad
It's been in the
pick.
game
Now,
5
hopefully they have
years.
some
Yeah, I don't know what the
into
stun's
Abyss,
called.
where C9 also struggled.
Yeah, it's
It's Aftershock.
Really great
it's
here. I feel
Rolling
like MiBR
Thunder.
can start to come back just a little
God
bit.
knows what the
Figure
flash
out
is
what C9
called.
did to win that first map.
What the hell's the flash called? Blinding light or something, or is
the
that
Abyss
Sky?
with Cloud9 and MiBR.
Flashpoint? Mate, wasn't that a CS event? Okay, Chad, let me give this demo up. We're losing our mind a little bit. Bacon, I'm not even sure I've got it on my phone, to be honest, but what if you WhatsApp me? Okay, chat, spam some ads. We'll be back in a little bit, right?
Okay, Team Secret. We need you guys on the stage now. Come on, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
The human body was built to move, not trapped at a desk in one singular
Hey, chat, why is this
posture
ad
for
so
12 hours a
targeted at me?
day.
Crazy.
It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret
Yeah,
Lab
I'm back in a
Type
little bit.
Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
E agora o Aspas já garantindo 2 abates logo de começo, hein? Só que o Xenon já foi eliminado. O Aspas de novo.
It's in a couple, but Ned's going to be there. That's 4 for Ned.
Cloud9, they get the first map winner. I'm here with Amy, and the first thing that I want to ask you here is, Amy, you talked about struggling with the post plans and struggling with the pistols after that last match that you had. So how do you work in these past couple of days to make sure that is fixed, and how do you feel about going into the second map?
We just watched the whole game back at first against G2. We actually thought we played bad, and then we watched it back and we were like, oh, we didn't actually play that bad, just our post plans were really poor. So we really made an effort to fix our post plans this week. And pistols, there's a lot of RNG, but we put focus into new pistols as well.
And really quick, was it hard to adapt to the composition change from FURIA, or from MiBR, I'm sorry?
No, because they just took NRG's comp pretty much, so we played against it week 1, so we knew what we needed to do differently.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck.
It's great to get that insight. Welcome back, everyone. We're here with TCK10, a Brazilian streamer from Cloud9, and we got to ask you first thing here, of course. Is it hard for you to root for Cloud9 when they're playing your brethren?
It's a little bit tough. I mean, I'm friends with Aspas, so it's really sad to me to see him go like so early in the tournament. But yeah, it's gonna be.
You're already calling the loss. You know? You're already calling the loss on him.
Yeah, he's like, yo, they're already gone.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no. Like seeing this first map already tells me everything I need to know. You see, like Oxy, with a big haze gap on Aspas. I mean, that's the only one that can do it, right? So, yeah.
Hey, it's a true Cloud9 supporter all the way. I love the chain, by the way. I have to ask you, you know,
you like it?
Yeah, I love it, dude. I love it. It suits you very well. I have to ask you, you've been around with Cloud9 for quite a bit of time, and you know, in the off season there was a ton of crazy stuff going on, roster changes. What was that like, not knowing who the hell is on our roster, you know, and then you see them perform the way they are?
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, I went to sleep and we would wake up the next day like, oh, new roster, nice. Let's see how it goes. But now we're complete, like we're killing it, and we're going to this second map with the whole confidence of our EGL Mitch and our probably one of the best duelists in the world, Ox. So,
I can see
I'm
you never
now.
doubted. Yeah, roster changes, never doubted.
Yeah.
They got this all along. What's your projection for the rest of the season? How do you think they stack up internationally as well?
I mean, I think Cloud9 is doing good. It's doing pretty good right now. I think with the tournament happen, we only get better with our roster because our roster it's pretty like new. They are like together for about 2 months now. So I think if we played more like games, like difficult games like this one, we just like grow our friendship inside the tournament. You know, we grow our resilience to play even better. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, it's great to hear. I love the confidence. Where can people find you? Where can they follow you?
Oh, they can follow me at my Twitch, twitch.tv/TCK10. Yeah.
That's right. For all the trash talk against Aspas and all the hype talk and glazing for Cloud9, make sure to follow all the action. Thank you so much for joining us for a quick chat. And
Thank
we're
you so
now
much
heading
for
over
having me.
to
Appreciate
learn what the coach of MiBR has to say ahead of map 2.
I'm here, Fraud, up head of map 2, and Fraud, I want to know, you changed the composition here. It doesn't really go your way. Now you're on the verge of elimination. What are you telling your team to make sure that everybody stays locked in for that second map?
Just to keep focus on what we practice. We felt like, you know, a lot of credit to them. They executed and played very well, but we felt like we had a really good read on what they were doing. We just were failing on our execution part. So we just got to go back to some of the basics on what we do in practice, which is just focus on the execution based on the reads that we have. And, you know, hope that, you know, we have a better half, you know, get us a pistol round, can lose some of these rounds that, you know, maybe 5v3s and stuff like that. But other than that, I think that we are very confident. Like I said, practice well, have good reads, and we just got to execute.
It's always the little things, right? Thank you so much.
He always looks ever so slightly concerned.
Yeah, I mean,
for good reason.
That was both pistols, both bonuses.
Yeah.
Like
That said, though, I still feel like we've seen a lot more signs of life from them this time around.
I mean, that's actually a positive, what I just said, because you can't win a game like that. The fact that they even got any rounds at that point is like, okay. They played well individually, but you can't dig yourself those holes. Both of those pistols, the opening pistol, was it 2v5? Oh my God, it's just so brutal.
It's extremely difficult, but I gotta, this guy on the screen, this was such a breakout performance from Vic. I mean, he hasn't really had a moment where he's had an impact like this at 3.9 KDA. In the offseason, we weren't seeing any of this. 44.2 headshot percentage. This is the Vic that we know from Tier 2. I got to play against this guy a ton in scrims. He was destroying me, and I'm happy to finally see it translate on the VCT stage.
I love that the majority of the Cloud9 roster, like in week 1, Mitch had a really good game as well, and then Zeppo obviously popping off. Now it's Vic's time to shine. You see a lot of great pieces there.
And that's a great sign for Cloud9. You know, Mitch coming in as an in-game leader, slowly, one by one, the dominoes are falling. Now everyone is getting activated on this team. Just bodes good things moving forward.
Well, they're just one map away from keeping themselves alive in our kickoff tournament. We're heading into a quick break, and we'll be back with map number 2 right after this.
Like nice timing, isn't it? Houdini 173, thank you so much, dude. Appreciate the tier 1. Thank you for the 26 months. Thank you. Fnatic Navi started slow. Yeah, but what a final map. There's another sub. You're right. Hawk283. Thank you so much, Hawk. Appreciate the prime. Thank you for that, dude. Welcome into the Slow Club. Is the bunny conflict over? I think so, dude. They're quiet now.
Into map 2 on Abyss between Cloud9 and MiBR, and MiBR need to come out strong here. They need to come out swinging. Fraud said they were easily able to identify, you know, a few things, and C9, credit to them, they were just playing well, but MiBR now needs to step up to that.
I have to agree with Fraud for sure. It's been a lot of slow starts for MiBR, but they're able to string some rounds back. And you know what? Sean brought up a great point. Not only did they lose pistol, but they also lost their bonus round. So when it comes down to those opportunities to really string it back in your favor when you have the gun advantage, you should be able to capitalize on those. Although we have seen that there's been a stronger gun buy for Cloud9 in these third round buys if they win the pistol. So this is going to be very interesting. We move over to Abyss though. That's going to be, you know, some tape that's already been seen onto Cloud9 when they played against G2. So something that MiBR could pull up, maybe something that's new. But it's not. They're playing something very standard. Instead of an Omen though, playing an Astra, so you're losing a little bit of that extra flash, but still getting a lot into the pulse plant utility.
The Cubit Academy stuff, yeah, we haven't watched the video yet.
On Cloud9, but MiBR is going to
we haven't watched the video yet. We could watch it at the end of this. We'll see.
A little bit of that
we'll see if we get time.
And the Astra, interesting.
And interesting enough too.
Sonia, how long is the video that you linked me?
Cloud9. I'm going to put it out there right now because when you look at C9 digesting what happened against G2, they weren't familiar to play against a chamber. So now you want to brush things, you want to watch demos. Okay, there's been moments where we really haven't re-cleared middle the correct way, and we got punished for that. Now that they've isolated that and understood that, okay, well maybe in these moments we could do that again, but now they're doing it against a more standard composition, something that they're used to playing against.
Wait, Vic on the raid boss, they did this strat before. Yeah, they did this pistol before, so they run it again. I'm not sure Vic was a raid boss for it though. Yeah, and there goes the raid boss.
Mitch on the side, it's
very nicely handled. Do they expect Zeppo to be this close? Do they expect the lucky middle?
I love here that Cortesia is not continuing to push forward. It allows for them to just fight a 1v1, but even for C9, they don't care about
timing looks rough.
They want to
oh my god, timing looks rough for both.
Beautifully done there, but Net's able to find that quick trade for the teammate. The ghost is there for Net. Usually alone on the lurk, knows this situation and how to create 1v1.
Weird back to side when they go for this swing. It's never like great.
There's one, the trio, almost a swing just under the chin of Aspas and a miss.
Got close. That's the first pistol for them though, so
they almost got the lineup too. I think he even got a chest shot with the ghost. It was going to be super close.
What's on Dapper being a coach now? I think it's a good move from him. He tried a good amount in tier 2. And he was always like pretty good, but I think when there's all like the new kids coming up, and the new kids are like pretty insane, and it feels like on the big stage the tier 2 kids are pretty like they're putting up the same numbers that they do in tier 2. I think it's a good move for him, and he's been playing for a long time.
A pistol round in this series.
It's a lot of work though, so hopefully he's ready for that, but I reckon he will be. Yeah, they're standing it. Get the plant though.
You saw him whipping across the ropes from the defensive side to find something. And
yeah, but if you look at the MiBR, buy, they're in a good spot for this.
All right. Next round.
Everyone bought a rifle. It's not like we got Vectors or Stingers or anything that they continue over. They pretty much just get a full buy rounds. G2 saving us. I mean, sorry. It felt natural to say G2. But
it's actually quite interesting
C9
too, because
saving
you
us
see a
some
lot of
time.
these standard comps that leverage
GT, I was
control
remembering
towards
the first
A
one.
side. Usually a lot easier to get
Look at that in my
recon
head,
dart,
dude.
take control of the orb, and kind of work a default in that 1-3-1 right after on your attack side default. But MiBR are leaning towards B a lot here. Owl Jones still to start things off and potentially waste out the first wave of util as Mitch finally throws the knife out.
Noswer getting set up on some of those
Good
alt
nade.
orbs here, so they make sure they have a good post plan on these. Nat have to go on the ledge. It's just going to mess up his aim. Osbos takes advantage of
Yeah,
that as the
that's
rest
a
of
nice
MiBR
side hit.
starts to scale into the site very quick.
Really
so
nice
much more
side hit.
coordination here on just
Got some
these
nice
two
KO
hits than what
stuff.
we saw in Lotus.
Agreed. And that's the beauty, too, of playing a composition like this for a brand new team. When you talk about the synergy just on paper of what you could do without thinking about the map, you already know the timing that the KO Flash could throw, what Ospas could do on the dash to entry towards that side. It almost looks like an old school Ospas playing with Loud in their championship days, where he's going to be there, the tip of the spear really going in and finding good value with good
Money is
utility
out of
around him.
control from
So
MiBR,
for
by the way.
MiBR to convert that pistol into a bonus and forcing C9 on a save, that's a night and day performance from what we just witnessed on Lotus.
And you're starting them off at 4-0-1, so Osbos confidence through the roof as well. He knows there's a lot of utility behind him that can help, and with all the Shenum smokes, he's only having the angles he wants to look at when they
I
enter
prefer
these
the
sites.
Jet or the
Really
Yorick.
heady stuff here from
I don't
MiBR.
mind either.
And going
I think
from
if
no
you're playing the
bonuses to
Jet, it
grabbing
has to
their
have a
first
KO.
bonus right off the bat here in Abyss.
Any other comp, I prefer the Yori.
And again, it's just learning on what C9 has been doing here against G2, but Amy mentioned it during the interview at the halftime with Dan Dryad, where they already knew that what they were doing, it looked like on paper or when they were playing the game
Déjà
that they
vu,
were
they're just
being
going for the B
outclassed
hits.
by
Yeah, they're doing it
G2,
back to
but
them.
after watching the tape, they're still pretty comfortable with the game plan that they have. So technically going into the map veto against MiBR, they won this, right? It should be an easy 2-0 for
I feel like
Cloud9.
Ray's
But
Haven
MiBR, they're doing a
has
great
potential
job
now that the
finding
meta's
those
changing.
weaknesses very
Problem
early
is,
and punishing
the
these
meta's like
plays
changing on
towards goal
every
where
map apart from
Nick
Haven.
couldn't escape really because he's playing an Astra.
You would have to do a mad comp to go for it. There probably is something that would work well.
C9, we're going to be very quiet to start these off, fans. They know Osbos is ready to peek, ready to look out. We talked about what he can do to a server, right? He just makes you feel
But
like
does Jed
you
need
can't do
the
anything you
KO?
regularly do.
The flashes? Yeah.
Getting to that point, you see C9
It's all about the flashes, especially over towards A, like flash
And they also
close,
use
flash
both of
deep,
the
or
rifles
flash
that
over
they
the top.
saved towards that
Like
same
here.
site where that stack is. So Mitch so far, he's finding audio information. You can't really
Also, you can
smoke
kind of
towards
just
that
spam
front
B
form
hits. The
because
knife that
it
goes like
all the
into
way
the
up
pit
towards
is
that
so
B site.
sick.
So for MiBR,
Okay, a little bit of pressure from
also
MiBR over towards A, and then end over towards B. And C9 have had enough of the B hits. We've got 4 people here early. Got 4 people here, and the person that's watching mid makes a lot of sense, right? Because he can focus over towards site, give him a recon, and then carry on watching middle.
All these smokes to come out, the paranoia as well.
Yeah, here comes the smoke over towards heaven. Here comes the recon, and he's going to focus on middle. There goes the recon. Kind of clears, make sure that no one's pushing, and Mitch goes down, over rotate. You're going to be able to get the plant, and it's all falling apart.
So they're being a little worried about this, as they should.
But the original idea was good.
Exactly. Right now for Cortesia staying on top middle, but there's only 13 seconds left. If there's still a star left for Net, and he could suck it off the spike. There it comes for that spike attempt, and he'll go down. There's no stars coming through from Net. So no shenanigans coming through.
Double trade, a swing there. Nice job by
Very
Zenom
nice.
to use the structure around him, getting that easy frag out. And now it's just looking for Zeppa. It does have the Phantom, so look to save this in the end.
Save or do damage. You still are going to have max bonus into the next round.
They got money.
So you could go for a half shield buy if you want to, but he's going to choose the option of saving his rifle, which is also very fine in that moment. But to go back to that round,
Wasn't pretty. I would say the
wanna see
recovery
the
was pretty good
importance
from
of
him
what
in
Cortesia could do
aim-wise.
here on these lurks. Also, when we're looking at the first week of kickoff, you had an opportunity to speak here with Milao.
Is the base normally
Gustavo
attacker
was saying, hey,
sided?
Cortesia
Yes, it is.
Going from like what, a controller role to a sentinel role, back from the Brazilian scene into the Americas, and he has crispy shots. And now you have somebody with great aim that's able to find timings like he just did right there. You want to see more of that on the attack side of MiBR.
No more retake simulator. Cortesia creating these situations with the rest of the team. So now we're seeing him get into the mix. This is what we wanted from those last
Well, smokes, yeah.
4 for MiBR now.
Saw some cool smokes from Gentlemates with Astra. That's honestly, I like the way the Gentlemates played the double smoke comp.
So now they have a little bit more post-plan advantage.
It was like Omen for everything, pretty much Omen for every smoke like past this line, and then everything defensive Astra
Find out if
smoke.
C9's going to try to play aggressively as MiBR, so that knife comes out
And the
early,
Astra would just
but you
save
also
double
see
smoke
here
for when they
C9
hit
went
sight,
into
so
an operator.
makes it a lot harder for them to actually take
He's walking
space.
on the B side solo. That hasn't been spotted yet by the Brazilian team.
Maybe they just give him a quick Cosmic Divide if he does start to get hit fast. They have the means to shut down and save his life, but it's going to be a B hit. MiBR is focused in the right site right now, and it's going to force everyone
Yeah,
out.
every single time it's getting a plant down, they got to retake with Oxy's up.
It's been MiBR kind of out of position once these happen.
C9 have
but they
all
have
the
a lot of
util.
time. There should be no problem.
It's going to be difficult to retake
Where's
though, because you have an
Nozwa?
operator
Nozwa
for
playing
C9,
off
and you
site.
also have a
Okay,
Hunter
this
Sphere
is
for
National
both
MiBR though.
Osprey,
Everyone's in
but
the
he's
right
actually using
position.
it to fight back.
So overall,
Cosmic Divide's going to split a little bit just so they can get a hold of this
Sniped him,
chaos.
bro.
Nosler does capitalize on one as Oxy tries to break the crosshair.
Oh, yeah, they're getting wrecked.
Oxy still is going to find it. Nothing's going down. We see the pings happen. The trade's back into a smoke. MiBR is capitalizing so much, but wait a minute. Cloud9 with 2 as they're chasing. Now they're running blood in the water. And it looks like Aspas is
oh,
going to
that
go
was
hunt.
nice. Then we're kind of
Smart plays by Artazine, almost catching players off guard, trying to run
we
back.
played a lot of games on this map.
So
That was a
nice
cool
shot,
little
but they
angle.
lost net in the process.
Save that operator for Oxy. They want it. Even though it kind of slowed them down on the retake, they feel like it's what can shut down MiBR as they go to hit these sites. The op gets saved. But MiBR pick
Ice
up round
deadlock on
5.
fracture.
Really down for that anyways, to see Mitch also pull out and save an operator. And he also did that trade-off to allow Oxy to move inside the
Stop
site. 'Cause
floods
Mitch has
out.
been good on operators on,
Maybe.
you know, unorthodox agents like a Sage, for example, back in his early C9 days here in Valorant. So
He was the flexiest of flex players.
exactly,
Like, he played
exactly.
everything.
Don't know what how Gravinet goes.
So going into that one though,
Honestly,
for Cloud9, like they still had
in
a
the
great
comp,
idea
you
of
could
what
probably
they
try
wanted to do
Force
towards
on
that
every
site.
map.
But
Might
MiBR,
actually
to
be the
able to
truth.
move into A and get a plant with barely any util used. They just walked
Mine
in,
works
they went
a
for
little
recon
bit
towards that
differently,
back,
though.
They realized that the site is clear. They went for a
I
pop
think you
flash for the
necessarily
smoke and
have to have a
post
drone.
plant. And now everybody's trying to play the retake for Cloud9 when you're playing against a Hunter's Fury, where you can't tempo as quickly as you can because you want to try to
Okay, it's an
leverage
early
the operator
timeout.
and hoping to punish
There
MiBR
well,
on
I
its
said it's an early
overextension.
timeout, but honestly,
They did so with the Hunter's Fury
5 in
at
a
least,
row.
so there is support
Goodbye
around
rounds gave him
MiBR's
enough
game
chance.
plan on
I think
how
double
they wanna
smokes
play these
is
post plans. So at least
a
here you're
must on
looking
this
at
map.
What Fraud said, the boxes
The more
you
I
have
watch
checked
it, I
here
do feel like
in the
it's.
second map, they are definitely taking them.
I think it makes life a lot easier. But I think if you have only one smoke, if you just spam site hits and you don't get shut down, you're okay. But I think the double smokes are good when you start getting shut down and you need to do like mid pressure. But honestly, if you literally have a comp that is so good for spamming sites, then I think you're alright.
Come back strong here on a
Just because of the maps
Been there
just.
before, right? With these type of players around
The
the
maps are
veteran
so
team,
far
Osmoth
rotate
and
and
Oswer
mid doesn't
and
mean
Fraud.
too
I
much.
mean, even if you're looking at the performances from kickoff to the stages, they've always been
Or
towards
at least
the
mid
losing
pressure
end,
doesn't
so
mean too much unless you get to like these
for them, it's
areas.
just always a learning experience on that side, and the learning is turned out quite well for the debut of 2 of these players around this roster.
Okay, change up. Oxy tanks the flash and Aspas saw him, so we got another flash to actually set him up towards the angle, and like I said, they're just going to side hit, is what the comp does.
Gonna be protected pretty
And
heavily.
where is his
Our team
help?
goes down. Null Command still working pretty hard. Just
Oh, this is pretty criminal.
It would be, but it's no shot. Cortesia, Aspas coming to the
Oh,
site
this is
fast.
criminal.
Cloud9 on top of it before it even happens, and now we get the Cortesia walk around just to get himself there.
Yeah, it's like, hey guys, I'm here. I could throw a hat for us, but then
Yeah, this wasn't
just
great.
alone as his teammates were falling down. I mean, look at where these X's are. It looked like they were trying to fight as a team for MiBR, but they were not. I was actually scratching my head on Artazine just running alone with the Null Command. Yes, he's able to find information, but there was no util, no players swinging outside of that smoke for instant trades.
Hello,
so
of
there's
course.
so much good value coming out from
How we
Oxy
doing, mate?
with the operator, with the crossfire setup. I think from Mitch too on the other
Echoes,
side.
what country are you in
of
right
that
now?
site. MiBR, I mean, off a timeout. That
Mr.
should've been
Worldwide,
something
I
they
just
could've
can't
moving
keep
forwards
up.
to, with all these rounds that they strung, the confidence they brought through.
You're in America?
Continue to
Yeah.
try to disrespect C9 in their attempts here to come back in the game. And they'll start now with the first round.
3 for Oxy on the op. They put that over towards
Yeah,
B.
we
Yeah, you would think. You're
we
like,
can't
hey,
have a
flash
repeat of
Oxy,
this round.
watch that site.
It was not
Man's
great.
already repositioned, has assistance, ready to defend. Can't get much by the young one.
Not great at all.
See again, he was just flashed, updrafted, and got back behind the bridge. Stepa on his right. And like you said, all those X's just in a line in the front, almost
Very
like they
nice.
had a crossfire. Really, it was just
How long are you there
1,
for,
2
Adam?
in the back of A.
one more year after
They
this,
pick up their
or
first, and a few ults to use here coming into round 7.
Yeah, an important ult for a retake or delay here out from Mitch.
Aspas be dashing in there. There might have been some util I missed, but for sure, yeah.
I love this type of battle. Oxy too having an opportunity to fight against Aspas, jet on jet, in terms of this mirror match. He wants to prove here that he could triumph and take over as the best jet player here in the Americas.
Yeah, we're gonna see an op battle maybe.
Maybe I go a little further. He backed up towards the box.
Yeah, we got a little flash to set him off. You want to do this?
Don't go any further.
Advantage though is that Aspas
Surely we
still
don't
has
dry
his
peek
dash.
this.
He could leverage that too for that one-on-one where Oxy can't really escape. He's got Cloud Burst maybe to try to escape, and it's a 3-2-1 swing.
Oh god! How did he manage to get a double out of that? Was that a jump peek that came in?
A double for Oxy.
I was not expecting the double.
And now it leaves MiBR
I was expecting the flick, but I was not expecting the double.
And now
It was really fast though. I'll give him that. It was really, really fast.
Oxy has dash now.
Nice
But
shot.
they lost Zeppo at least. Now again, great lurch coming out.
30
from
seconds,
Cortezia.
vision block over
Thankfully enough,
towards
it's
B.
maybe
Got a
enough to
free
break the
plant
map,
here. This one's
going
doable.
into the re-hit into this B site, the walk for contact.
Do they expect the Astra so close? I mean, they're holding for it, but do they actually expect it?
So far by MiBR. Can they keep it going though to repair this round? Cortezia
No way. Look at the timing on this one. 3v5.
3 more now. Oxy full rotate. Blades are out. There's one just to his left. Here's the shot actually from Astra as well. Shenum.
Holy.
Shenum's gonna go down. The ace from Oxy just in the
Oh my god, bro. That is up there. That is really up there. It's a double entry into a 1v3, and that, telling you, this fourth shot on this guy, that is not easy to do. That was impressive, man. Nice movement as well in the end.
The rookies coming in to isolate the players, to shoot them from behind, and suddenly Oxy comes in for the rescue.
I believe that
Yeah,
is
look
our
at this
first
for a
of the week,
clip.
too.
This
So
is up
MiBR
there.
is giving away a PC for the first ace of the week. After that, $100 Riot gift card and $100 in iBuyPower rewards for each one we
Oh,
see
man,
further
that
for
is-
the week. And make sure you hit up iBuyPower on your socials. Hashtag unlock your ace, because Oxy just did.
And that's the fear that Oxy could instill.
Yeah,
After that
it's a
first
beast
kill,
play.
you're seeing that Shannon was just running back for his life so that at least
Money's
they could play the crossfire
pretty
setup.
low for MiBR on this one. They got Astra ult. They can make it nice and simple.
Finding all those timings.
Oxy tanks a knife.
Looks like they don't want to build up.
Committed in
Or
front.
build up
Ah,
in
dude.
on that height. A fast hit towards B.
Oh my gosh. Just Aspas tunneling down onto Oxy there. They finally get the 2, and yeah, C9's going to have to wait for the scatter here, or Mitch.
They might use the Astro against them and take a lot of space here. It's a really nice knife. Big flash.
Oh, the creep down. He uses the audio for the drop just to hide it. Still can't find anything as they mill about and try to get another position.
Oh
for the
my
side.
god,
It's gonna
big
be
flash
Mitch.
with the
Almost
Omen
forward,
flash.
straight back from Cortezia. They're still going in. Vic chooses the shorty, but goes back as Zeppa also picks up a frag. It's going to be Shenum. Now he has to get to the side, just on the ledge. The defuse isn't there. Faking it back and forth, the spin. Vic gives him his back. He's firing too high. He fires to
Yeah,
the left,
nicely
but
done
Shenum's
from
able to
Shenum.
grab it. Get that 9th
Very
round.
nice.
Beautiful job. Or get the 6 for them, I should say.
Yeah.
That was a round
9, win
that was
1, lose
almost
1.
converted by C9
Money's
when
in
they're
the
at a
bin, but they
disadvantage.
can still buy this one, so.
That time it was a 5 versus 3 for MiBR, and you saw this super nice paranoia coming out here from Vic. Yes, it allowed for them to come in and swarm through and get a couple of picks, but not enough of a buddy system to thwart that double swing out from the window for MiBR on the post plant.
Are we going to have Aspas go wild this round, fans? It might be.
He's got Bladestorm and only a shorty. Already
Yeah,
pops
but
him in.
they got a lot of
The
kills,
drone's
so.
gonna try to clear the way for him to move in.
This is probably the big rounds. How many does C9 need realistically? 4? 4 if they got a really strong attack.
It's just going to be 1, so it looks like C9 will have the retake on this. Aspas will get all the room that he wants, but he's been pushing up and scaling, causing a lot of problems for C9's retake.
So far, at least, the TP that we see from Vic doesn't allow MiBR to get forward space on top of Heaven. So all they want to do is stall, which is great. MiBR did try to press forward just like this as Artizine almost got punished. And now all of C9 can group up
Yeah,
for a
much they
quick
can delay
retake.
on site here.
On info, he just grabbed his cube.
With a
but
tag,
Cloud9
a
say
server would
could
be nice.
Bigger here. Nice damage to start from Aspas. Punches Fury is going to cause a bit of chaos right up the gut in the site as Oxy starts to open it up. Nasra, quick trade back. Everything, a patience, a moment to breathe, but Oxy
Whoa.
keeps it going, not a time
Oh
to
my
blink,
god, his
not a
decision
moment to
making is so
move.
crazy.
And Shenum now tries to trade it back with Cortezia. It just leaves Zeppa.
Maybe.
Clutches happen every day for this guy, but MiBR has been on point in these post plants. A quick star will deter the defuse, and now Zeppa has to go searching. He almost gets the
it's
last
gonna be
one,
no
but
time on
Shenum
that
comes
as
up
well, though.
big again. The rookies are firing for MiBR.
And that's why
And C9's got to
Artisan's
eco
stay
this.
alive was super important. Yes, he almost got caught towards Ivy, but where he falls back, when he found all of that information, it's towards that side where they planted that spike. So yes, there was a paranoia
Yeah,
once
still
again
just
that
spam
hit
and B
both of them
hits.
from Vic onto MiBR, but he throws a pop flash towards the air. Doesn't give a chance for C9 to get the best value around their Hunter's Fury. And that small piece of util once again allows for MiBR to play that delay and win at least due to time and force C9 to make mistakes.
Crazy stuff here from MiBR. Really great adjustments.
Yeah, I'm not sure
on
who
each
did it,
round
but
to
someone
make sure
drops
they can
Oxy
thwart C9.
a hero
Gonna be
gun.
pushing a bit this time, Vance.
Yeah, it makes sense. Eco round for Cloud9. Guardian for Oxy, trying to trade it off.
Very nice. That's a gun to double up. They lose over towards B side again, but they double the guns. If Neck can get a kill, he gets Astra ult, but this
Where it's
is
important. He's going to have four
this is
players
the pause.
crunching him on him and not giving a chance here for Cloud9 to allow Noswar to play the pulse plan in front B.
Wait, does Mitch get good timing?
By rounds. They've always been trouble in their opponent's side, or thorn in their side. Can it be this time again? Artisan says no, even after one trade.
Hey, what the hell's going on with the Omen Cape? Very nice. Dude, there's been an impressive half from MiBR. They literally just spam B hits and it's just so strong. There's just nothing C9 can do.
Down on that round, but MiBR do it in pretty clean fashion.
Again, Fraud mentioned it. How do you react rather on the
It's so
reads that you
funny,
get?
man.
So
C9 literally
Artisan
did this to MiBR on Lotus,
to
just
start things off,
spammed
got
C
picked off,
hits,
got
and now
information. There
MiBR
was
are
at least
literally just
three
doing it
players in
back.
his point of view, so that there was going to be a flank no matter what. So Shinam, he holds the staircase. He trusts here that Noswar could watch the front, which he did. Got a double kill out of that, as you just saw.
Buzz. Play the
So
Buzz
they react
pause.
quite well. Communication's very
Yeah, it
good.
looks like Oxy heard you.
And MiBR really crushing here on this map of Abyss.
They really want that operator back in play too. Pushing towards A, start things off as the spike is just roaming mid.
Yeah, just trying to hold it back for a bit too. Door is not being broken, but it's actually being pinged out. So just potentially saying, watch out. They could maybe go for a pinch around here. Maybe they heard the door break early at the beginning of the round as well.
Okay, we actually call for A rounds.
He did have players inserted in the very
And I
beginning
imagine...
Shen push
well,
with Artisan.
I say Vic's gonna leave here, but
back to
if
a
Zeppa
4-1
drones
in that
middle, like
mid-round.
now, then these two can definitely focus over towards
still
A.
trying to activate on
Yeah, this is nice. Reclear. So we have knife to reclear close, then we have drone to reclear further. And we've got a 3-person stack on A.
It's enough for them to feel like they have some control here. And they hit the site during that.
Does Zeppa send it?
Quick Hunter's Fury comes in. A lot of pings are going down, but nobody can capitalize just yet. MiBR does find shots towards the back of the site, and C9 just gets obliterated.
Bro, their sight hits are just too
While
strong.
all this happens, Cortezia
Every single time
inserted
they
on
got
top
like an
mid.
ult
He's cutting the rotates.
to help them out, it feels
it's so
like.
simple, at least from the point of view as we see all 10 players.
Or they're just getting all the
But
opening
it's working
entries.
according to plan. What they drew up here for MiBR in this default composition, the bench comp on Abyss. But
But
they're lining up the stage
looks
so
annoying
far
to
with
play
how
against. He's
clean it
looking
looks.
great.
It's for sure comfort.
It helps when your team gets entries over towards the
coming
sides, though.
I mean, Cortezia feels so
Like the dream.
comfortable, it seems, on these rotations.
Gonna watch China in the morning? Yeah, yeah,
flanks
yeah.
in
We'll watch the
control.
China best of 5.
And getting that information to the team.
Oh my goodness.
Hello.
Knife to knife.
Very
Tries to give him a
nice.
loper dart to confuse him, but Shenum's not being confused, not right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing so well.
You're not playing Teo, so that's not going to do any damage if it actually lands on him. But yes, it's super clean, as you just mentioned, Riv, for MiBR. This is 4 rounds in a row.
Looks way
Stringing 5 rounds at
comfier
the very
on
beginning
Cypher
too.
than compared to Vice.
And it took, what, a timeout out from him
Yeah.
to allow Cloud9 to
But
at
that's what he
least
plays on
get 2
Haven
rounds.
as well, right?
But they'll have a chance very soon here to play their own attack side, to manipulate the map themselves.
And
It shouldn't
the
change.
doubters,
It shouldn't
take a
change
look at the
too
top of the
much though,
scoreboard
Dense.
there for the side of MiBR.
It's only really the Flash. Speaking of Flash, Flash dash play top and middle, and they are so ready for this. Yeah, I mean, this is just the most common jet ult that we see these days. It's just becoming so common that honestly, every time someone has a jet ult on defense, you just see people just waiting back here. So shout out to MiBR for this one.
Already they start 5v4 trying to
The dart landed on a mid dash. Oh, really? Well, that that doesn't help. I was too busy looking at their dart and just where everyone was sitting, because their dart went here.
Everybody, how much damage can he do? And Nat's gonna say, not this time.
Yeah, a little bit exposed there at this point, but you still have other players.
Oh, Yampy, I'm so jealous of that.
Look at this
That stuff is incredible.
Towards Z.
With dart out, they leave tower. It's just kind of a fight for the high ground right now as they're trying to get back into sight. Spike already planted, obviously, so C9's got to do some work here. Ospas and the rest of the team just start.
Dude, look at the Omen cape. I can't stop looking at it. Okay, that's a very, 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 very impressive half from MiBR. These side hits are strong. What rounds did C9 win? An Oxy hero play, 1v3, and the entries, ace. And then the only rounds was when Aspas didn't dash onto site, and maybe he tanked a KO knife that I didn't see. So it's like one mess up and one hero play. That's it.
Well, we're going to be right back quick, just like that first half, to see if MiBR can bring us to a map 3.
I mean, I think they are. I feel like C9 did something similar to this in the off-season, though, where they came back from like a 10-2. Wouldn't be able to tell you what tournament it was, but maybe home ground. Do you want to watch EDG versus Crew on Haven? It would be another 30-0 for EDG. Grover, thank you so much for that. That was tasty. Gonna interview coach position. Any tips as a former head coach? Gonna interview tomorrow for a coach position in Valorant. I would go in with something to show them, maybe. That would be something kind of nice in terms of like how you like to schedule a day, maybe like how you would like to, I don't know what you feel like you're best in, but some kind of schedule for the day or some kind of way of approaching a map. That's pretty cool.
Art can bring us all the way to Pearl. Are they shining
or an
enough
anti-strap for a team.
We'll find out.
But yeah, I would go in and just.
So far, yeah. So
no one in esports is ever gonna go, well, that guy's too keen. Like, they want the keen people, man.
So MiBR showing a very strong attack side. C9 could also very much do the same, as their difference in comps also made it difficult for Cloud9 to play a stronger defensive side because of the double controller.
Of course, dude.
But this might be a chance for them to bring it back.
All right, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. We are back on to the map, and we're about to
Former
see
coaches? No, there's a lot of teams that have performance coaches.
The pistol back from MiBR.
Dude, why am I not recording this game? What's going on here? Is my brain just melted? I swear I was recording.
Only has 2 stars, so that maybe could be good in terms of smoke execs to play towards that site, but the delay that we talked about in the post play that Net was doing so often for G2 is not going to happen there.
He has 2 stars are to use. You can see one of the
Okay, we got Oxy with the ultimate raid boss. Yeah, get him the regen shield.
Almost tries to get the dash shot on here. Little tower action coming from MiBR, and Shenham and Ospas with a great little teamwork play there. Okay. The mechanics that we talk about from Ospas, just getting a bit of vision on site there, so they have the upper hand. Cortezia steps back, waits for the team to drop, and then he'll make his move. Oh, slow and quiet. They're just creeping around. All shift buttons are held right now as nobody really knows what's going on until they peek. It's just left up to Nat. Trying to stop that defuse.
Very nice. Astral suck on this.
Cortezia now pulled
Yeah,
off.
just one from time.
Half, there's too much time, not even half yet. It's going to be shots from Nat. A beautiful job on the Astral.
Sure, let's give him a chance.
Goes to C9, and they do get that pistol.
And that's the other
we are
thing, too. The reason why
3-1
he
for
doesn't
pistols.
want to go for that third smoke
E9,
with a ghost
winning
potentially
3.
when you usually have a solo Astra in your composition is because he could also leverage Vic into these smokes, into the one-ways you mentioned before that doesn't allow here MiBR to
User
fight back in that spot.
_5321 with the Prime. Thank you for the Prime usage, mate. Appreciate the 2 months.
For Cloud9. And there was a good read for MiBR. They had a triple swing to fight back against that, but somehow you had Oxy head on a swivel to get that second
Why
kill.
does that look like he's hugging the desk? He has his mouse like really far beyond his monitor. There's quite a few people that do that. I think that's how Weber plays as well.
Oh dear. Lots of info on this. Osboss will always take
Sire, dude, Sire's are nuts though. Sire's on the box, right? Sire's on the raised box.
Now they just hang out as they get a quick orb grab onto Oxy to make sure those blades can be effective in a few rounds.
And while the other two, the double controllers,
Snoop 28 as well. Thank you for the Prime, mate. Appreciate using that also, dude.
It started off here with an aggression out from MiBR, then nothing left.
I like this. Little walk through middle. The only person, well, 2 people with the sheriff. Do it around the 1 minute mark where everyone starts to group. Yeah, they hear sound. We got the Soul Lore fake with the ghost, and everyone is here.
Shots here, he sees the rest of the team.
That's a free sight.
You are free
But
to take
do they expect to push behind?
Cloud9 is going to go ahead and set
Yeah,
up
Vic's instantly
Still
on
a
it.
pretty decent retake to come through with what we've seen from MiBR.
Nice shot. Every time I see the Omen, the cape's just going crazy.
Frag right there, but now they've traded sides of the site. It's all just up to this choke point. No smokes coming in for either side. Actually, yeah, Senum doesn't have any stars.
Confirmed at least now with the
So the
Eldron
Yay
abilities
opt on
flanking,
Astra.
so
Yeah,
the
it makes sense for
utility plus
positioning.
two
But again, you don't have the
shot bars to
TPs, but
work
again,
with.
that's
And
so
sprays
fine.
over Cloud9.
He just got a star back, able to use it.
I think people are like op snobs at some point. Just like it has to be on this agents. I think it's slowly getting eliminated now.
has been playing to grab their rounds, drain the clock, and take out as many members
Okay,
as possible.
so they lost 1 gun and they got a regen armor. So we've got 4 guns for the bonus. Kind of fine with the one of them just forcing into it in 7-5. Lester Riv with the Prime also. Thank you for the 2 months, mate. Appreciate the support, mate. Thank you.
And it worked. And then C9 were just able to play an easy take towards that B site, but the post plant, the shares are still really
What
good
agent
here
with
for
an
MiBR.
op
They
not
still
make sense
are
on?
continuing
Like
the
second
confidence that
entry,
they
like a
built here on
KO,
this first
probably?
half.
They're gonna focus for Oxy here. Looks like they might try to. Okay, he's got a weapon. I don't know. It's like 2 orbs. It's gonna be tough to get both of those, but they do go for the buy. Looks like it might be a Gen.
He has stars on both ends too. One just
Like Superman, yeah, do the Omen things. I've never seen this before. Look at it.
Coming out from MiBR.
No capes. That's why we don't have capes. All right.
Yeah, that is so annoying. See that come out of Vic all the time. It's just like
he's like, woo.
Somebody's using old school ESP.
Yeah. Over to the left side. So they're trying to just default the map. It looks like the Spike still wants to go here. Vic doesn't have ult, so we do see a probable end at A.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on Aspas on this one. So we have the fake over towards B. We send it in, and I mean he got 1. Yeah, he got 1 and he got early info, so the rotate can come in fast. And honestly, these 2 might feel like they're here so fast that they just insta flood.
Exactly. It's less numbers towards the hit on the A side.
Nice shot. Nice shot.
Net says bye-bye. Sit down to both MiBR members on site.
Real calm on this one.
That, right? Now we still have
I mean, looking like a bonus, right? How on earth did they lose this with the flank?
And of course, Net doing what he does best, staying behind and making sure that he's the last line to secure the round with the gravity well ready here on this Astra.
Sure, I'm not sure they can. Got no vision block. Got Astra Star.
Net can get that easy long shot as they swing out to try and get. Yep, easy. What a trade. Picture perfect there. And they can rinse and repeat as the members keep coming in.
And it's just the little things into how Cloud9 actually took advantage of that A side. And I talked about how they were able to learn.
It was a nice round as well. NC9 early on faking creates a lot of pressure. Right now, if they start sight hitting, you would imagine that people are less likely to early rotate, but more likely for them to be able to win in time once they get the spike down.
So now that you have C9 scaling back in these corners, it's like, okay, well, we're going to go for a face check because we don't want to let people know that we are trying to hit the A site. You want to try to still add that surprise element.
Let's just say they didn't buy for the fake, but Terminator was here.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. They didn't buy for that fake, but they still cleared that corner. They made sure that that corner was cleared walking back into the A main. So again, a great job for C9 and showing the amount of work that comes through from this team. It's been talked about before in other interviews where Imi was saying that he loves a team that has come together here for Cloud9 going into this kickoff. It is a team that, yes,
first time out.
fairly new, but it's a team that's super hungry to get some instant results. So when you have these moments where they're getting thrashed by G2, for example, some players want feedback.
Aspas got 2. Yeah, I mean the trade was good. Spacing was nice. Kind of nearly got clattered, but
drawn up in the very beginning in the strat book, and it shows here. Just a small thing here that allows for them to be a little bit more perfect on a map like Abyss.
And talking to Zeppa in the interview last week, he said he believes this is the team around him that they feel like they can really work with, work forward. He called it the Three Stooges, and him, Mitch, and Oxy kind of doing stuff around the map, just being goons as they can get their frags in and just do whatever.
The one hero gun gets thrown over towards
They are
Aspas,
definitely having fun, but MiBR has found their stride.
and he's at least on the site. And yeah, like we said here, they're probably going to fast site hit, and you would probably see a slower
from their first match here.
rotate come in from the rest of the team, just purely because they're maybe thinking that the fakes might happen again.
See
what the raid boss can do.
Even 10s into the last season. So to see rookies already go in these roles when they have heavy firepower to support a star player like Aspas, they're looking pretty good here for MiBR in the second map.
Vision up and over.
Let's see what the Recon's like. Recon should own this guy backside. Oh, Recon owns them both. Very, very nice.
Quick back and forth as Vic finds
Yeah.
the trade.
Someone from MiBR's got to shoot this Recon from here.
And already that flank is watched
And
by
honestly, if I'm Aspas, I'm letting him know after this round.
Exactly. Even though it's
Like I would want my jawlers to be like, mate, you gotta shoot that Recon here. I can't play this pause.
And a tap through the box to get the headshot.
Ooh. Zeppa's uncovered though, right?
Pop flash, beautiful.
Oh, you better buy him dinner for that one. A few more from C9 here, as they're obviously going to be able to take down the MiBR members. And this round looks good.
Looks like a novelty tie.
That MiBR kind of spoke about. That could be for the next round when they get guns, right? It's like, hey, we're going to have this low buy, do the damage you can, and when we get guns, we're going to focus on this. So we'll see if the timeout comes into play here as we hit the next round.
Especially when you move into a round where Shannon, after that death, is going to have the Astro Wall to be able to play the retake.
So much?
Aspas has Blade Storm if they need to actually buy a weapon for somebody else if they don't have enough of that economy.
Ooh.
I mean, I was going to say the Pop Flash was really nice to blind
so
up 2
good.
players, but you got 4 players playing Pulse Plan at that point for Cloud9. 2 of them didn't get blinded. It's not the best value in the end here for Cortesia, but I like the attempt.
Aspas, another op.
Right, let's lock in for the buy rounds. We got another eco here. They win. What have we had? I mean, they pretty much just had sight hits, but we had a fake with Astra.
Just covering up towards this main, and they actually double it up too. So this is a huge risk.
Zeppa
right?
one away.
One and done in this position.
Nice ult from here.
You're trying to play the bait from Aspas, but just leaving those players
Whoa,
anchored
whoa,
there
whoa, whoa.
doesn't
Oh
allow
my
for them to
goodness,
support
okay.
here towards this B site.
I was not expecting this. I thought we were going to like get the orb, take it a little bit slow. We had an Omen flash into flash dash on site.
That's all they get for now.
And obviously there was a KO flash high up as well.
Plant and a setup
Keep an eye on the luck.
Speed they've been hitting the sites, I think, is what MiBR is trying to
This is
stop.
one of the first times, if not the first time, they've added a lurk in. Actually, that's a lie. They had it on A.
Opportunity for Shenum to even play behind the wall if they want to start using it, but that clock has been taken down on that spike.
And it was Mitch the other time, so now they're lurking with Net.
Not
And dude,
too
no
sure
one
that's
is
gonna be the
watching this,
play.
by the way.
Well, there
Net's
he
good
goes. It
for...
starts.
Nobody expects it's hardly a place anybody plays, but Zeppa's still there for one.
Oh no.
They know the op is there for Aspas, so they're just going to play behind walls here. Make a quick trade.
Time is really low. Astra's just got to stay alive for the Astra suck. Aspas needs to go for it.
Routed right now. Vic is about to have the back shot. Oh my gosh. What is
Okay, very nice. Yeah, Aspas had to go a little bit aggro here and just kill the Astra.
Aspas gets out with the op though, but another round for C9. They do lose everyone, but it's still another round.
That was still a nice play, though, by
Saves the
Cloud9.
op
They just stayed within the site.
into the next round.
They didn't necessarily overextend to try to fight back towards the Heaven side. They just played towards the Ivy, where there was no pressure coming back from MiBR at the very beginning. So many of them were funneled towards that top because they wanted to protect the VIP, being Aspas with the
what?
operator.
What are
but
you
as soon as
talking
they
about?
fall, when they couldn't win that first fight, when you know, Nosworth dropped down, then it's so hard for you to retake with an operator.
Right, more like this round.
You just
Yeah,
keep
probably.
Ned alive towards the Ivy. He throws a suck, there's no defuse, and that's it.
But
Trap play
it would have been
attempt, maybe aggression.
he would have got traded no matter what. But if he killed the Astra, there's probably time to defuse.
Yeah, from MiBR.
Depends what the comms are like here,
Capitalize on
really.
some. They've dropped the Op to Shenum here when Aspas has the Blade Storm, so interesting to see the choice there. He has been fragging. Let's see what he can do with the sniper. Ooh, they kind of bite into this.
And we're out here
Oxy's gonna
committed.
get
It's a
one.
nice trade.
These blades for Aspas are going to strike true. You better believe that, and he already gets one.
As soon as they see him here, do they piece together that he threw the op to anyone?
And it could allow Aspas to become
Oh,
a
this is
weapon
nice
as
from
C9
Aspas. We're
gives up
sending
that
it.
space. So that's a Phantom now picked up. And the operator is still locking down towards that B site while you
Yeah.
have Star. So they have stall for MiBR as well.
Great control with Aspas moving up. They
Yeah,
know
that
this
knife
hit's gonna
hit a
be
lot.
here. Quick Hunter's Fury. Just misses to the side. It's a bit of a flank as they trade kills
Now what?
across
Plant
the
for
map
spawn,
here.
push
They're gonna be
spawn.
able to plant the 3v3 now.
Yeah.
Slowly stopping. They don't feel safe in this situation, and that always feels weird. They know
What
the
a
spike's
kill.
going down backside.
That gives them so much
Don't know
space.
about Aspas yet.
Wait, what happened?
Right on.
I looked on the minimap. Did he just miss it, or was there an Astra suck or something? I was watching on the minimap. He was like bugging out over towards here. Oh boy, I think he just missed the jump, man. Oh god, imagine they lose this round.
Jump peak, patience. Perfect pull in here. Great high low to play. Almost is able to capitalize on the 1v1s, but Vic comes up with the last
Oh.
frag again to get around for
Couple
C9.
of thank yous being exchanged, I imagine.
In that one, in those moments where MiBR only have pistols
Surely
and
we've got this
Sheriffs to work
replay.
with, they still have great
I
firepower.
gotta know.
You look at these regions in Brazil, in Turkey, they have tremendous firepower coming out from these regions as well. Which is why, oh, that's unfortunate. Which is why, though, you're looking on that end, you have to credit teams like MiBR finding and trying to bring up
Astra
tier 2
or
players
last
into
time they
their main
faked it
comps,
over
into
towards
their main
B,
rosters.
and
But as
I
we
like this from
continue to produce
MiBR.
earlier on
We got a bit of a
MiBR's
KO
performances
or
on their
anti-KO
attack side,
setup.
This has all been flawless by Cloud9 so
Omen
far
all
on their attack
gets
side.
cancelled.
Quick cross the map check here.
Ooh, Omen ult. While they go for the Omen ult, we dash over towards middle, and hopefully everyone's so busy searching for the Omen ult that they don't hear the jump across.
Here rotates to potentially in spawn.
Oh, that's so
To be
sick.
able to stop all of that, the team feels comfortable to get into the front of the site as Oxy takes down Artisine on the top of tower. Spike's down for now, but Vic already makes the leap to the top of box.
Oh my goodness.
And they capitalize on the site here. Man, Oxy
Damn,
is so
what a cool
far
round.
through. They have to wonder how far MBR does. They can get back to the site without seeing him.
And that's Oxy giving a little bit of a taste of MiBR's own medicine.
Honestly,
as
this
he's
was
the one
really,
pushing
really
up
cool. I
towards
like
middle
that a lot.
Usually the lurker as a sentinel, as Cortesia did. But
And
him with
Milan,
the
hello,
dash,
hello,
able to
congrats,
get even
dude.
more
It
space
was
towards that spawn and
an
catching players
absolute
off
game.
guard.
It was so
does
fun
give
to
a chance
watch.
for Aspas to get value out of that operator. So early round going into towards the end, C9 did a great job avoiding the operator.
Dude, Haven
from
must have been
Aspas,
so mad
who
to
has
watch.
been hot. You mentioned it before here going to the second map.
In the
Feeling
coach booth.
very good here. And they do a good job to do it too. I mean, you take Oxy and you slow walk him up mid. I think MiBR has been alerted the whole time to a site hit being Oxy dashing in.
Remind you of
So like, oh,
Strata
no, he has a
C9
dash
used to
in
run
here. Oh, no,
last
he's
year.
mid. So
Oxy
very
with
big
CT
change up here
spawn.
from the way C9
I think I remember
approached
the round
round
you're
to
talking about.
possibly avoid that up, not show a strong hit, but be silent until they were ready to attack.
Okay, 2 guns, 2-9 lost bonus still.
Neat stuff
So
as they switch
there's
up
only
the
one
strategy
person that takes the
this late
hit.
in the game.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a wrench in the wheels
Went
for
for
sure.
the
when
Sages,
you
yeah,
think
I can
as an
imagine.
IGL coming out from a timeout a little while ago, that you're starting to understand their read a little bit more.
Yeah.
Of how C9's executing here in these rounds, but then suddenly you have that boom push up towards middle here from Oxy. So now the second
want a
timeout
third
from
map?
MiBR.
Interesting, and
Gotta-
C9 was able to capitalize on one of these as
get
well.
one on the board on
last
defense.
time. So Emmy using this.
They're dodging the
this
op
time
pretty well.
Very effectively to get through into what the team needs to do.
I think from this timeout, it's just trying to see how for Osbos they could really leverage the operator. As yes,
Would I prefer a third map or more sleep? I would honestly prefer more sleep.
Where he actually gave the operator to somebody else.
Because tomorrow's a stack day as well.
And that's C9 doing a good job avoiding these extremities.
But I don't do that. I'm never gonna be angry at a third map.
But at least inserting players in that spot. So there is an opportunity here for MiBR to maybe push a little bit more in these occasions.
He'll wake up. Yeah, it's a big China game tomorrow.
Yeah, and when we get back into game, I mean, just look at that scoreboard across the top there. Cloud9 on the second half has just been punishing towards MiBR.
Dude, Amy's gonna watch the VOD back. Stop typing that.
Well, right? Especially when we go towards the more default comps, it's been much more explosive on the attack sides. And pulse plans usually really good for stalls with the Astra, but with these two teams playing within the sites, crossfire setups within the sites,
okay.
It's actually been quite clean as well.
What is the chain?
Ooh, the push.
Oh my god.
The KO knife.
Okay.
Oh, blocked it.
Still got a kill though, at least with the Hunter's Fury.
Yeah, still got the main kill. They take down the KO. Pretty big.
While they have, you know, whatever buy they could muster. Cortesia with the Guardian, but at least they
find Knife hits 3 as well. They don't know where 1 is, and they just invested. Yeah, that sleep would be really nice. Just invested the Astra ult, and these two need to chill. And Viper just Astra just needs to play. Holy hell, we're losing our mind. Where's Viper come from? There's literally no Viper on the server.
All these adjustments on the timeout. That was probably a lot of information being said here by Front in the very beginning.
It's not like we've got a whole more year of this.
MiBR in the server.
And MiBR have chosen to kind of give up this mid area again, but use util to re-clear it. They're happy to guard the sites with the members they have and let mid be taken as long as they can still get an idea of what's there.
30 seconds left. Do I want the Astra to duel this? No, not really.
Quite far, but now back on the flank is C9. Looks
what do I do? What do I know when he's done that?
Almost another one as he identifies Nat, just looking over.
Okay, very, very nice. They're on the board, and no one even took any damage.
Nice by MiBR as they kind of get a timeout back into resetting the team.
That's how you get value off the operator from Ospas. How do you get the best out of it?
Yeah, the plan was pretty good. Sova ult deep, once they're kind of committed towards the sides to hide from the flash, and then when they're dodging the ult, should hopefully be able to get a op shot.
So it looks like they have found. I mean, it took a bit of rounds here for Fraud. It took, what, 7 rounds in a row?
Oxy, backup gun for the
how they could actually counter
jet knives. Probably worth doing when they got the KO. And that is nice with this one. Did they do the thing where they updraft before the barrier and then floated? I think so.
So quick. I think Mitch went down first to last time as well. So
yeah, that play is so good. You just don't hear anything. Like the old Icebox one you could do when it was lowered down.
A bit of rinse from rinse and repeat here as Net goes for the push again.
That's it. Instead of a camera this time around, it's a trip. So now they still have passive information.
Exactly.
They want to give up this middle. So when I thought in a timeout they wanted to fight middle more, it's more reactionary. So the trip breaks, they pull out the L drone, they see a little bit of information.
Where's the updraft from? It's literally just here, but it's like you do it before the barrier goes down, right? So the peak of your jump is the barrier goes down, and then you just float onto it, so they don't hear the updraft.
But a lot of 1v1s can be created in this situation. They're trying to catch MiBR off guard, but credit to MiBR, playing really smart.
Not sure they need to do that in the 4v5, but maybe their coach told them to be more proactive. Yeah, and this is a free site.
Really quick snap there to make sure he gets 2. The rest of the team says we are all over this site. Every entry is Cloud9's as they take B. But it is a 3v3, and Vic is hurt.
The good news for MiBR is they kept their rounds so clean, so if they do lose this 3-3, they got money. But you would imagine... Oops. Alright, I didn't finish the sentence.
They're clearing everything.
Yeah, they still tried to push forward, got a couple of...
Why did they do the 4v5 push? I think their coach told them to be proactive.
Give me orbs, says Ospas.
4 stars in the front of
Tap of the spike, get the... Ooh, hold up. It's doable.
In the front.
Oh, and the paranoia can't find anything.
Okay, well.
Nice over their shoulders.
just when I was like looking at the positions, I was like, hold up, Smoke's here as well. But
round and are within
Guess that's what happens when you get a little bit of belief.
It was important.
Insta
I mean,
shutdown.
this is the second time that they have an attempt to fight back in the front of B, placing the Aster Stars in the front.
Doable, yeah,
where
even
they're
set
just
up a little bit, to be
loading on
honest.
things, but none of the players from Cloud9 are
Punished
actually
for it.
playing there. Out in the window, further back towards the spawn. This should have been something too that they could have identified before from that. He loves to play so far back in these moments where he's going to be the last man standing, or potentially the silver lining.
It's a really important round. 1, 2, 3, 4. Losing this, they'd be on a 2-4 loss bonus, so everyone be sitting around like what, 2-5, 3-2.
Who in their round now has to play the early info game. Already the Owl Drone was burnt out while they have Ospas
Yeah, we're
inserted.
just straight up B
They saw
hitting on this
nothing,
one.
so
We
it's a
got
good
double
read
cage for
here,
retake.
release that they know the hit from Cloud9
We
is
got a
towards
camera and a recon to try and get him a
Retake
kill.
positioning for MiBR. Let's see how adjusted.
Oh, they're
C9
going
can
fast
get to
flood.
sight here. Ospas waiting to come around with the operator until they get that spike
Yeah, let's see what the
confirmation.
Jules are
He
like.
doesn't believe that a first hit is a real hit from
Big
Cloud9.
flash.
And why would you after these
Oh,
maps?
absolutely
Beautiful flash from
tanked
Arsene as they
it.
get a quick trade back. Null command still there. Around in sight though for now. Spike has not been planted.
As soon as the
yet, and
smoke
it's not
goes,
even
is this
towards
guy not
sight.
dead?
He's down and can get
Whoa,
in.
last
Oh,
bullet.
Arcee
He only had
somehow still
2.
gets the kill.
Still trying to battle back
Depper's
and forth
just
here.
spamming
Spike is
away
off.
at the
It's just
KO.
for the frags, it seems, this round.
Astra's been
Ospas is
watching
going to be coming
behind,
around, and he might just get
but
an idea of where Net
isn't
is before Net
watching
knows.
If anything, though, if
this.
he moves towards that window, he'll never see the spike. So
Oh
this could be an
boy.
opportunity.
Oh
He makes
boy,
noise.
Aspas is definitely on that.
Free kill. It's a free
And that's
kill.
going to be the spike as well. And then what on earth do you do on sight here?
Yeah. There's too much movement for MiBR.
No, why have you
Beautiful
done
job
that at Heaven?
Get around the map knowing they have this time, but Nasr going down makes things a bit trickier here.
Got Omenort.
A quick push to the back, 13 seconds on the round. All they have to do is live on the side of MiBR.
The suck now, it's a concuss instead, but he's able to stick it.
Shenum coming around, it should be enough. and he
Very
cannot
nice.
stay
Okay,
alive.
2
Shenum
chances.
with another one of the round-ending frags.
Guy,
to
got a
get
little bit
MiBR on
scary
game
this.
What a nice attempt, though, by Vic to TP to grab that spike. But overall for MiBR, I was questioning a little bit what Artezine was doing with the null command and not playing, the flood retake with that null command. But it turned out to be actually quite good because in those
That map
moments
is
where
so
they
fun,
were
dude.
playing on the
We've gone
defensive
through
side, on
worse,
the
it's so good.
post-plant side, when C9 was trying to flood back, what was important? The KO flash that throws up at this very spot right here where Oxy gets the pick onto Cortezia. So getting that null command up doesn't allow here for C9 to counter back with util, so you could actually come in and take the advantage and get the trade and allow Ospas to get the lurk from behind. So I like it towards the end. Because Ospas looked like he was way too far to be able to play that.
Run the unintentional 24-hour stream, do it. The only way it happens is
Just at the right
it either happens on like a day when there's
seems
all the
like that's when
finals
MiBR
or
has
tech delays.
really been able to fix. Honestly, they've been taking so many punches this round, so it comes up in round 20.
EMEA started
when they can
earlier,
find
could
one, and then
happen.
22.
Yeah.
This was almost
Yeah, it
C9
could.
making a full sweep on the second half of the map.
But I think Americas would have to
those
start
last
later
few
now.
timeouts coming in from MiBR have very much paid off. 3 seconds till we out of this one from Imi, and he's going to try to get the team sorted. We've seen a lot of A hits and then B hits. C9 have just recently started working mid. We'll see if they keep pressuring that.
Yeah, at least to start, you see behind the barrier.
Right, 2 chances. Imi's getting involved, and yeah, it's like the Hail Mary. It's the, well, our sight hits doesn't seem to work, so let's create pressure over towards middle. Astra smoke into Omen smoke. And then you create mid pressure that should make them weaker, but then we actually like
Allow for them to get early information.
go in mid.
Unless he wants to avoid it in the very
It
beginning.
feels like we're going mid.
Now starts walking up.
Seeing one, still wants the shot. Nice pop flash.
Yeah,
from
that was a
back
good
side
flash
there
to take
from
the
Arsene,
angle.
but it only catches Net.
Net's got to imagine that the op is here after that flash. I'm really not sure he wants to swing this.
Maintains that line. Yes, he doesn't have dash anymore, but actually looks like they're deciding to give it up because he hear the Owl Drone towards middle.
Oxy's still going to move up with that.
Okay, late double
Knowing
smokes
it was
over
shot
towards
from the
middle
right
to
side,
create
but the smoke
pressure.
coverage is
Recon.
fantastic here. This trip
What's
is no
known?
longer on. They've pinged in. That's going to be the drone, though. Just in time.
Okay,
as
what on earth does
MiBR
Oxy do decision making here? This is rough.
Oxy's going to keep holding that line, but lose Mitch in the process.
Really nice from Aspas.
What a look, what a shot. And Aspas shuts down Oxy. A 5v3 now as Cloud9 is wondering where they can end here without their sight hit.
Thankfully, it's still 2 controllers up for Cloud9. They could smoke up everything and try to work
Ah, no,
as a
they're
group.
so dead.
Paranoia is still available as
Oxen
well.
just wins the round. Oh, why is he pushing?
Straight out of the
Okay,
smoke without
it's all
too
good.
much
Like I
util.
said,
It's what they have
Oxen
to
wins
do
the
at this
round.
point. Jump forward with the shorty as Vic
Okay,
is
chat.
just taken down to
Got a little
46.
power.
The
We
rest
got the
for
third map.
Osmos is up. And that is the map for MiBR. We're going to be seeing Pearl.
Yeah, I mean they just go way too many rounds. Way too many rounds on their attack.
Second map coming out from MiBR. It looked like at some point Cloud9 was going to be able
Sleep
to
is
claw
slipping
back
away. Dude, I didn't
in
even
this
record
game.
this video
But it
as
was
well,
almost the same
so I don't know how I'm
scenario when
gonna
they played
get
against
that back.
Vietnamese.
I'm gonna have to download the
Those
VOD.
moments when you are already leading
VOD's
10-2
huge.
at the half, if you're still making small mistakes here and there, you still
Of
have
course,
so much
Sonia, of
cushion to
course.
work with. So MiBR did a great job.
Thank you. I'll see you
leveraging
tomorrow.
The late timeouts from both Broad and leveraging
Yeah, it's a
even
long day,
Eevee's,
dude. Go get some
timeouts
sleep.
to be able to capitalize and squeak through and force this to a third.
Okay,
map.
chat. I'll be back in a little bit, right?
Stuff. We're seeing Cortezia come online.
The last
Shenum
map.
come online now. Those B-side guards from Shenum, absolutely huge. A lot
Have
of
we seen
round-ending
Poe
kills from
yet?
him.
I can't even remember.
Stuff we did not expect to see.
Remember,
coming
we've
from
seen
the
C9 and
MiBR
Poe? I don't
rookies,
think so.
especially after their game one, but
We might have.
they have absolutely come online. They've shaken off the nerves.
Okay,
and
I'll be back in a little bit,
they are
chat.
ready to make this elimination match not be their last. It looks like we will be taking a quick break, but stick with us because we are diving into Pearl next to see who will be going home and who will be going on.
E agora o Aspas já garantindo 2 abates logo de começo, hein? Só que o Xenon já foi eliminado. O Aspas de novo.
He did a couple, but Ned's going to be there. That's 4 for Ned.
Welcome back, everyone. We've got a series on our hands. MiBR are keeping themselves alive in this series, enjoying some well-earned bananas.
I love the
Got
banana.
that potassium up. Honestly, it's the gamer move.
It was always my pregame like little snack to eat.
It's a perfect snack.
Eases the nerves a little
Yeah,
bit. That
secret of the gamers.
potassium in your system.
That's right, that's right.
I feel like Astralis said that like years and years ago. They were the ones that started that in CS like years and years ago, but now you see it everywhere.
Well, MiBR got a long way to go to be compared to Astralis, but this map
Osmos is there.
Yeah, this map was a good start.
Yeah.
He had 7 operator kills on that Abyss map, and it was just floating around on the defensive side. And I thought Cloud9, they tried their best to deal with it, but he just got value anyway.
I mean, they tried their best on their attack, but yeah, let's roll it back here in this series in general. I mean, quite frankly, when we heard what the coach had to say, Fraud, when they were down, it's just like, you know, we need to be cleaner, we need to get those side executions cleaned up, and that's exactly what they did. He delivered on everything he asked for.
Yeah, they kept it really simple on Abyss, which is a very simplistic map, right? These 3 lanes spread out super far away from each other, and it allowed them to get the separation for these execs that you were talking about, Baby Bay, and Aspas was just flourishing. On the spear, the front part of these hits, he was playing so well. But you have to give flowers to the rookies on this team.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to talk about Aspas. I mean, particularly Cortezia and Shenum.
Yeah. Cortezia had such good lurk timings on this map, and he was finding openers even when they were down numbers in the rare occasion that Aspas did go down on the entry. So kind of giving them a way out. And yeah, look at the stats right now. I mean, Shenum, he was like a silent killer in this map on the Astra, but his shots were so crispy, and I think now we're finally starting to see some life in this MiBR team that we really haven't seen at all.
Yeah, he won a one-on-one against Vic early on in that B site. That was pivotal in the first half, in my opinion. He had super low HP, had to play the situation perfectly around Vic and spammed him right through the smoke. It was a sick play.
What I love the most about is just, you know, people were starting to question, obviously, after the first few performances from MiBR, like, was it the right move to pick up those inexperienced players? But with that performance right there, I think they really showed everyone what Fraud and Aspas have seen in them.
I mean, we saw what they can do when they play, you know, this open default map with a default comp against the default comp.
Yeah.
But the question is whether they can show up against, you know, the Teo, against these newer meta comps when they're behind the 8-ball and they aren't equipped with those layers. They have the shooters to go head-to-head with anyone in the league. It's just whether they have the game plan to do it as well.
Well, and one of the pieces that is forming that game plan is, of course, Nazwar. And earlier we spoke with Nazwar to get his read on the competition and what he thinks he needs to work on heading into this match.
Para nosso jogo contra a Cloud9, a gente sabe que o jogo deles é pouco em torno do Ox também. Então, eu já joguei várias vezes contra a Cloud9, então eu sei bem como eles pensam um pouco, como eles jogam. E também o jogo contra a Handetief deu para a gente saber qual é a nossa fraqueza, né, no campeonato, por enquanto que foi a defesa, a gente não conseguiu encaixar nosso ritmo do jogo contra a Handetief. Então a gente vai focar nisso e contra a Cloud9 a gente está bem confiante.
He said it so deadpan too. I'm confident.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is we kind of did see them struggle on the defensive side as well. They kind of had to rely on the op crutch of Aspas, but that's a good thing to rely on. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
When Aspas is opping, it's a great thing for you.
But even then, they required that 10-2 lead.
Yeah,
I mean, with that 10-2 lead evaporated real quick.
It was actually crazy because Soa, you were the one that was like, oh yeah, let's sit down in the back over here because this is gonna be a long one, but it will be a fake comeback. I don't know how you have the script.
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah,
I'm writing the script.
What is up with that?
That was kind of crazy.
Right now. Well, I'm not going to give away what's happening in the next map, but maybe get your thoughts. How do you think Pearl is going to plan out?
Oh, I think it could be good for MiBR because it is kind of another one of those maps where if it is default comp versus default comp, you give these long sight lines to Aspas again, and the lurk timings to Cortezia. It could be another case of what we just saw in Abyss.
This has been an Aspas map,
right?
Historically. Like, I have seen this guy do filthy things on Pearl, just year after year now at this point. But Oxy's also heating up here.
Yeah, he also had 5 operator kills.
Exactly.
Of his own, by the way.
That ace was maybe the play of the year so far. That was insane.
Yeah, it's always him too.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing is like he has all these tweets. Oh, I'm not performing how I want to perform, and then he gets an ace against like Aspas.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean, bro? Like.
I saw MiBR play this in the off season, and I know they can play the map. They weren't running anything too crazy at the time.
Yeah, it was like a default comp.
Yeah,
I remember.
I know also Cloud9 is in like the middle of their pool as well. So this is actually a really good third map. It's, you know, standard default style map. I think we're gonna see pretty vanilla comps. I'd be shocked to see something crazy.
Yeah, I mean, last year, Cloud9, they were running the Neon, you know, on Oxy on this map, but I don't think with the way that Neon is right now in this current meta that we're going to see that. It would be cool, however, because I think that it would throw MiBR off with not having to deal with a default comp.
But is that a risk you want to take?
It's
this is elimination match, third match in the map in the series. Like, literally everything is on the line.
I think the question is whether we see like a Vice or something like that. I think
you know
we
what?
have the Jets.
We're going to find out very soon. For now, we're heading into a quick break, and afterwards, we're back with the third map in the series. You don't want to miss it.
See what's going down on Pearl. MiBR played Pearl. I think anyone's played Pearl out of these two teams. Had a KICKOFF go out. They kind of just got owned a little bit. They probably should have been 2-0'd as well. I felt like the Giants' prep was very good. There was a couple of rounds that they had already seen before, and so they knew where to like spam or how to play against it. And then they honestly played very good against the Vice Deadlock comp.
We'll eliminate one of our teams going forward. It's Cloud9 versus MiBR.
That next could go deep? Yeah, I think so.
For this map. Into the
Who do they play?
Where, unfortunately,
maybe not. Actually, depends on who they play again. Apex, right? Apex or Liquid,
I wouldn't want it any other way that we actually are able to have a third and final map where we haven't seen from either of these two teams yet, at least on the VCT stage. So for one end, Sean Garris was mentioning, hey, maybe they went back to the roots of what they're comfortable with. Are we going to see vanilla comps here for MiBR? Potentially here, because that's where
Omen,
they found
Astra.
so much success on
What else
Abyss.
was there?
But this is also a map where we haven't seen C9 play yet. They were also able to implement some
Reformed Catboy with a tier 1. Thank you for the 20 months, mate. Appreciate the tier 1.
Default comps such as energy on Fracture, for example. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what we're going to expect now, what to expect going into this map.
There's a better chance in this? God knows, dude. First time they go up against a Teo.
Potentially give it to C9 coming in with something new.
Well, I mean, C9,
the
overarching kind of
Is it a good comp?
runs for that org across
Oh,
every
it's
game
kind of
has
nice.
for some reason been a plot armor. And this
It's
team
pretty
that they have
close,
chosen as
strong.
well looks like
Yeah,
it gives them
yeah,
some plot armor, some crazy
Fast is
stuff
good.
there. MiBR is going to look to thwart that lower bracket
Wait,
run
who is
with some of their own
Yeah, who is the
comp,
C9
that
Sentinel?
comfortability. This is exactly what I think made them so strong last map.
But the thing is when they played this during the offseason for MiBR, there was no
Default
Teo.
comp, yeah.
So now on paper,
They have Cypher.
this Killjoy's
Hey,
gone.
I kind of like this
And then
C9
you
comp.
look back on the side of C9. They have Fade. You could play Prowlers to clear out towards middle. You could scale up towards long. You could do salvos with TPs towards the back of the sides here for both the Yoru and the Teo on the side of Cloud9. So
Yeah, I
on
really,
paper,
actually really like
it
this
looks
comp.
like here you're going to be able to work around the map quite easily for
Oh,
Cloud9.
don't type
We
that.
know they love to mess with the utility
That's
to start.
ban-worthy.
So what is
Okay,
on their
C9 on
docket?
the
First
C9
thing,
defense.
probably
Got
mess
MiBR
with
on
where
attack.
you are in sight or trying to get into sight. It would
Pistols
be
at the
a
moment.
C9
We're at
starting on
3-1,
defense
so
here.
C9 winning that one
Already a
for sure.
rotation to push out C long as MiBR wasting no time.
Well,
to
we are
dash into sight.
descended over
Default
towards
hit
here.
here,
Astra
so
has
it's gonna go
the
ahead,
suck.
power in
Wait,
numbers, but there is
does that?
hide and
How does
seeker
that
right
work?
now.
Oh, it's a smoke that you want
Great
to do.
kills from Oxy and Nat. Unexpected. MiBR thought they had a clear sight in that moment. They take to breathe.
And
as the
Paul and
moment
Joe
that
looks like they're
C9
getting
takes
another
the
one
fight
here
back.
as well.
Now you have no choice but to potentially stay inside the site or to go for hero plays, rather. Artazine and Shen on the last two remaining. I mean, yes, you've made it through this trip, but it might be too late unless you're able to
Oh, I
get
like how he
behind
played
the
it
ball.
though. Very smart.
Oh,
Yeah, nade now.
Oh, he's good. Beautiful fragment. That's going to drop the health of a few and Net alone. They still get
Oh
a
my
shot.
goodness.
Well, MiBR is playing this so masterfully right now, but they have to get in the smoke. They have to see if it's getting diffused. Can it be Oxy? No, it can't. It can be Shannon once again. The final kill of the
Holy.
round will go to
Got really, really close. It's a very nice try though. In the 2v5, that was an incredible try. I love this little play here. That was awesome or not.
Throw a null command for MiBR to spawn a player playing inside dugout. I almost think it actually did catch Net towards that back. But for them to decide to do this, to pop flash, to fight back towards that spawn was an interesting one because from the get-go, there was no delays coming through from Cloud9. So you have to expect they're playing for a flood retake. They probably did expect here that it was going to be a double flank. So props to Cloud9 to play so far back.
Let's go, baby! Yes!
Why did that yes seem so forced? Okay, 4-1 on the pistol.
Like 0 to 100, but that was tame. That was tame.
They're tame. They're tempering the play. They're tempering the go. He's got a long game to go. He's got more yelling to do, apparently. We'll see if they hit this hard towards A. The lurk here, though, from Shen could be a big factor. Whoa, that was a shoulder. Yeah, I think Vic just caught that. Quick kill goes to Aspas, so they're going to have a hard time getting into sight, but they're still encroaching, trying to find the back of somebody
it's
from C9.
nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a gun to pick up though. Does Astra go aggro to protect it?
Rifle's a little bit too far away from the pickup, but at least they get the plan for MiBR.
Vic with a quick check, giving the team the rest of the time to come from secret, come from that garden area. Try to file into the site. High-low as they play it and just quickly overwhelm the site as you would expect.
Okay, nice. I'm enjoying how Vic is playing these situations as well.
Some orbs up. That's going to be a dimensional drift for him.
He never gives his kill up.
Very early as well. Yeah. And that could bring a lot of value because you look at C9's investment, it was still a lot being put here.
I'd rather have Cypher or Vice as a Sentinel for Pal.
Those Bulldogs could
Dude, honestly, I don't think I mind. Both of them are good.
Especially when Oxy, well, actually, looks like he's dropping away from the Outlaw. So
I would probably run something similar to this. This is a good comp.
I think Yoru, I mean, Zeppa and other maps would stay with Oxy. We kind of talked about that, their Fracture game and whatnot. But a Yoru, you still have to be left up your own devices. So it looks like they're still going to allow him.
I like the C9 comp a lot.
Back to the Bulldog, though. A little measured. A little measured.
It makes sense. He left a TP back towards that spawn. You need
this is another map you could run the Deadlock.
Get out of jail free card if you're able to get a pick or miss and get out of there to safety.
Maybe.
And I wouldn't be surprised later on if you go for the juggle so that they could play the dimensional drift retake.
Actually pushed all the way to A. You saw him took that gate crash back. So now they're at B.
I feel like the Deadlock Vice has potential on every map.
Creeping around the back. They know they have gotten all the way into sight now. So C9's rotating over, but great positioning by MiBR here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone's here. They could try Fast Flood if they wanted to. They got the Yoru ult to get them a lot of info. Here we go. Okay, but he's already in it, so that doesn't change too much.
Oxy trying to get in, does have that judge once again after they kind of flipped the site, so they're trading weapons back and forth. Vic to take down Artazine here. Oxy in a smoke.
Oxy's done so well. Yeah, and they should wait, and Vic needs to get the smoke on the spike before he goes down. Ned is on top of the luck. Damage deep to the main pauses. Astra sucked, but it got half. Nice shot. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So close, chat. He's 8 HP. No joke. Ping's back in the game. He's won that. Yeah, it's just a little bit unlucky. Spammed slightly to the left.
Drift out from Oxy, and it looked like they weren't really trying to get frags around there. There was such good stall coming out for MiBR on the post plan. But towards the end, finally, when all of that util is gone and everything settles down, at least for the initial concussor stalls they could do with their util, you have the power of numbers of Cloud9 that really had winning duels on top of that. You didn't have to trade too much.
If he's just watching them fall like flies, like surely not. Surely not the 1v4. Outlaw on defense is going to one-shot 3 at the moment. Venom has his Astra ult. Honestly, Astra ult with these guns might be alright to use. Yeah, they're going for it.
Is once again going to be the one trying to entry towards that site. Thankfully, they have a Cosmic Divide to just split the front of that site.
I thought they were going to... Oh, that's nice. Yeah, he gave him a little bit of space. They could go for it again, to be honest here.
Does find a kill. They can play this slow. Armageddon's there for Mitch. The Tejo ultimate is ready.
That's just unlucky. Maybe a small mistake on the Cosmic Divide.
Yeah, the judge though. 2. That is incredibly unlucky. That probably is a double kill if he doesn't go for the smoke here.
Still on the spike. C9 need to work quick here and start to create a lot of options that MiBR
Damn,
can
that was sick from Aspas.
But no, they're ready for
very, very nice in the end. On the boards, we got some gun upgrades here if they're fast enough. 1, 2,
to break crosshair placement as he's just dashing around and just keeping the store duelist of Cloud9 focused on him, so the rest of the team could just play a cleaner pulse plan just to spray out towards the A main. But I gotta say that small mistake from that wall could have been very, very costly for MiBR. It would have been
my favorite coaches outside of the friends. Doombros was always very fun to play against.
In the elimination match for MiBR, when you lose once again pistol
and
bonus,
I would say as well.
And they stopped the bleeding quite early.
I'm impressed with Kaplan and Josh.
Blind is there, and Aspas can't see a damn thing.
G2 Sun.
Able to get that frag in their favor for first blood of our 5th round.
And that's the Prowler just falling behind that.
MC,
get that
I'll
bite
probably say as well.
On to Aspas. The drone behind it as well. Just again, talking about this double initiator util is so good for Cloud9. But I talked about it on the attack side, not on how good it's been on a defensive side.
Or Potter.
help
I mean,
out here.
yeah, I mean, Potter's
Cloud9
obviously
take
great.
advantage of the orb and also deny it from Nosware.
Doing what she did with EG was insane, really.
Slowly trying to get themselves behind enemy lines. This is
Alex
big.
is
Cortezia,
very good with
we've
fast
seen
set
this
strats.
multiple times across our maps.
Okay.
Huge. And now
Might have
he's
3
causing
here. Do
problems
you go for fake
C9.
TP?
This gives the rest of MiBR time to move around the map safely.
Nice
Putting a
discipline.
lot of responsibility onto Zeppa just to watch that 1v1 so that Oxy can move back and support towards the Gout in front of A. But everything's done well enough here by Cortezia to allow MiBR to move in for a plant. And once again, play. Potentially here, another clean post plant.
Almost a quick frag. They're going to actually use that Cypher ult.
Yeah, 2v2.
See if they can get in the stars. They're going to be so troublesome here. Hunter's Fury hasn't even used the Astra Stars yet. Very well played. The layers.
This is nice though. They pivot.
C9,
Yeah, and the highest HP is on the spike.
They're going to head back to side of Shenum. Going to do everything he can here. Quick concuss. Quick shot, but he doesn't get that frag.
Still
It's
good.
not even the half though.
It's so
Got
good.
Oxy
Yeah,
on
nicely
the
played in the
ropes,
end.
and Shenum
Everyone
gets
that needs to be
another
off site
clutch
was
in the
off site on
series.
this.
And interesting enough, too, that they utilized the Hunter's Fury to start things off, but it makes sense because when they play that 2v2, especially with the Neural Theft thrown by Net, you have to...
With the Odin and Pit, yeah, it is
So if you're
very,
already
very
gonna
strong.
go
I'm
for
kind of
the
surprised we haven't
Sucky
seen it even
Boost,
once yet.
Then you already have 2 players potentially on the defensive side just trying to push down towards the main. So you kick things off here with the Hunter's Fury. You're trying to keep them at bay, and then you use that grab well so you can play a little bit more slowly.
Okay, it's a nice
towards that
early
arc
timeout
push
if
that
that's
you're
what
trying
this
to do
is.
here for Shenum. So turns out quite well. Heads up play for MiBR. And already in an early timeout for Cloud9, Imi wants to make sure here that they don't
Odin
run through the
abusers are
same
just
type
being
of
abusers.
shenanigans as they did on Lotus.
Yeah,
where
that's true.
They're going to run away with it, then it's tied up, and then when it comes
Yeah,
down to
maybe
those
that changes
pressure
it a lot.
moments, you know that Cloud9, they're always like one map, one series away from qualifying into
Ah,
international.
yeah,
So they want to make sure that
TFM.
they don't falter that early at kickoff.
Great clutches so
Billy
far.
beat
Red Bull clutch
EDG.
from Shenum,
It's
another
gonna be
one on the
close.
Series is preventing Cloud9 from doing a few of these things.
Best of
I think
5.
so far we've seen in the games they have a lead.
I don't feel crazy
That would
confident
plague
about
them as
EDG's
well
map
in
pool
these-
at the moment.
these lower long runs, if they do make it, you'd be like, man, they're in such great
But
form.
I
and
think
then a
Billy's
non-closing
calling
game
is
comes
not
in.
great,
Wait,
so I
why
think
does this plague them?
I do think that
MiBR is
EDG will
trying to be
win.
Fierce, so they can bring that error back out of C9 if it's even there. I mean, what is this roster?
I mean, Prodigy, you don't
provide
have
for
to,
them,
do.
right? Maybe it's not even a problem.
Like if you guys, if you guys are staying up now, you don't have to get up for it.
There's a
You
lot
can
of
just
it
put
there
it in
on side
sub
of
only mode.
MiBR
It's so
too. As we
fine.
get back in round 6, they're going to have weapons. They're going to look to take this back in their control.
I'm actually trying to push up towards B to start for Cloud9 in this aggression. I mean, it is an eco run that you have here. Recon, Alan Jones started early off on
Within
the
about
side
a
for
one.
Nosware,
That's fact.
already pushed away. So they know the tail's playing close, but don't know how many players behind Zeppa, or sorry, behind Mitch is actually there for Cloud9. And they'll get that info at least because the pit will show up on the scoreboard. They
Ooh,
know
this
that
guy
Oxy
disappeared
picked it up
too.
and that he TP'd away.
Good shot.
But for the rest for MiBR, they are playing the anti-eco. It's going to be a lot easier for
Yeah,
them to
and it
just
looks like they
win
might be able
these
to keep
duels,
this one
especially when they're
relatively
playing this winning
clean.
system that you
A
clearly see.
control,
always
a
have to
main
against C9,
control,
right?
bust into
You always
A.
have somewhat
Wait,
of
are
an
they pivoting
anti-eco,
back?
but against C9,
Ooh.
for some reason, no matter the squad, their ecos are always so strong.
C9,
And I
EG,
think
side out
Oxy
MiBR
missed his
as well,
TP.
so-
Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy how these teams can organize such good low levels or low buy strats here to make it work. Already a frag though. They take down Net, so they don't have to worry too much about a lurk. And they should be able to get this retake onto C9 as they hit B.
Especially when they heard the TP earlier on there by Oxy, and they probably waited that extra 20 seconds so that if there was another one, it was already gone. So now they have power of numbers for MiBR, a 4 versus 2, but
Nice shot from
talking about
Mitch.
the Sheriffs, it's good for 1.
Cardazine still trades back though. They don't have to worry about Mitch too much no more
Yeah,
with the
it's all
salvos
good.
coming in. So set up by 4, Cortezia probably get his util to stick now. Now Teo's gone. Feels a little bit better. But it's just a slow rotation in here from C9 and most likely a cleanup. So great job by MiBR.
Yeah, who gets
They're
the
not
kills though?
pushing
Because if
themselves too
Cortezia
thin.
and Artsin get one,
Shots come in. It should just be a cleanup. And I think they're dealing well with Cloud9, always trying to make MiBR sweat at the beginning of the round, right? We had that little push towards C.
the 2G
C-Long
tomorrow, what
didn't
map
do
do you
much,
pick
but
against
they're
Crew?
always
Ah, I pick
giving
Haven, no
MiBR
doubt in my
something to think
mind.
about before they can run their strat.
Thing is, right now,
I don't even care if I'm bad at Haven, I'm still picking it.
Artisan who gets the pick instead of trying to die the spike and not give these pips away, because Artisan after that kill, he has null command. I wonder, you know, with
That's
the
a bait. I'll probably a
we
bait.
talked about Cortesia
I'm down
playing
for that.
into
I'm
this
down
kill
for
joy
every
is
single
basically
one of
a
those
write-off
baits.
because you're playing against Mitch with these salvos. It should nullify the lockdown, right? But maybe that's the reason why MiBR adds that extra layer of Artisan with a null command, with a
Right,
0 point.
CNN called a timeout here. They obviously ecoed, and now we get a full buy V buy, and the money is getting out of control for MiBR. I pretty much expect like a 7-5 on this map, roughly. I don't really know with the KO comp. Oh, they forced over towards
They
A.
have a lot of salvo in their face they have to deal with.
Thanks a little bit of damage, these two.
Oxy has another dimensional drift already, so if C9 feels like they've lost control around, they can regain it back with a
Okay,
bit of that vision.
lose A main control. Reactively push over towards R.
The lockdown, nothing's going to stop it at this point, and MiBR could choose to play the fake or play the
They
pinch.
push too far, so the crossfire.
And it's not going to be
Killjoy
ready
goes
for
in.
at least another 10-15
Teo.
seconds. They're going to get
Use the rockets for A main control, so don't have rockets yet.
A very, very close Zeppa, and that's going to go down.
Very nice to get the trade on this one, get the res going, and MiBR looking kind of nice now. They stabilize, the money's good.
Yourself out being selfless, you could instantly trade res up while you still have the null command. And also you created that space already from the lockdown, so front side should be good, and it is.
Quick plant.
Yeah, I had the
Just
updraft.
letting the util waste away before C9 gets their positioning back here. This is a tough task right here. Aspas even playing the height of the box over towards Art. He gets hit pretty good. They're going to require the rest of the team to come in here.
I mean, look at Vic's HP.
Yeah,
after
it's
that.
another one. Dude, it's another one with MiBR having 4 people alive as well.
Artisan's just going to try to hunt them
We
down.
got 1,
But
2, 3 on
really
9,000.
good here for MiBR again, just working in the driver's seat. When we looked at the vanilla
Loses
comp,
out?
they should
Yeah,
be
it's his
C9 basically
lower bracket.
able to dissect this map in their favor. But MiBR are doing a great job sticking to the basics of what are the
I
advantages
think
of this
FURIA will make
composition,
roster
what they
changes?
can do. Again,
Nah,
we
no
talked
one will
about
make
these
roster
pop
changes
flashes
until...
from Aspas.
Honestly,
Aspas just dashing in and clearing
until
space.
Split 2.
And
I'm not
we were
even
able to
sure
play the
anyone will
pulse
make
plan
roster changes.
around Shenum and
Teams would
around
have to do
Nosworth.
really bad.
But that around
But
the
no one
Ulsa
will do
split
anything
was actually quite
until
nice that usually
Split
we don't see
2.
that from the default comp.
And
Or
ultimately,
like at least the end of Split 1.
You know, they look to play this comp where they can get those ults in, get themselves into the site, and kind of play it slow. So C9 does waste that utility. They can get through those windows. Seems really neat that they continue to go back and forth and are now.
That's
C9
actually true,
basically
yeah.
did on
Maybe,
Lotus is waste C9's
maybe
util,
C9 because
play
you never
within the
know
windows
about
where they
C9.
can hit site.
You're right.
Very nice little change of how they're going about it.
Now in a lower buy that you have for Cloud9.
Okay, same thing for C9, just aggro over towards A main. Picking up orbs, gonna have a lot of ults in the next round.
And things
Camera
seem the same for Cloud9, though.
spots.
You saw from this minimap, just trying to push
1,
up towards this A
2.
main, isolate that, pick up an orb,
Oh, he got hit by a knife.
trying to play the long game. This should technically be a write-off for Cloud9, and you play the long run for the next.
Ooh.
I thought Net was stuck and dead to rights, but he actually keeps himself alive and gets a kill. The rest of the team starts to fall, though, as that is only good for one. As they push in here, it looks like MiBR should be able to get this with the Bucky and Stinger on the other side. I think another thing that's really a blessing for MiBR is picking this is that they can use the KJ on the attack side first. You talk about around the Tejo window, but imagine if
MiBR
they were on
looking,
defense, right? I
looking
think
pretty nice
they
in
would
their
be
attack.
looking for the KJ util, salvoing it.
The only
whatnot,
thing
so
that's
they
gonna
kinda-
make life hard
really
now
nice
is
that they
it was looking probably a little bit convincing because they had ults. Now they don't have the ults, so this would be a big test.
Maybe it's not those moments to use a salvo right away to try to be aggressive, right?
yeah.
So you need to be aware of what's going on for your opponents too, not just trying to draw up or think about what you should do in round 7 because we have this. You have to think about what your
Frod is
opponents
a funny
have as
name
well.
for a coach, dude. Frod
Which
is like a
what unfortunately
legend,
was
man.
missed, which allowed here MiBR to string these rounds. They have 5 in a row now on their side.
Crazy stuff. Yeah, as soon as they got guns. So
He was
what does that sound like? Are they
he was the
really
Yay of
that much
1.6
stronger with
basically.
weapons here? C9 only getting to that bonus
But
round.
imagine that year that he had on
MiBR have
Optic,
an
just
answer.
imagine that
Yeah, looks like
for like
C will
5
be
years.
one of those.
Not only that, this is also very similar
He
to
was a
what
beast.
Abyss could be. You have these long corridors around long B, around long A, but they weren't really allowed to put an operator in the hands of Oxy on this Yoru yet.
Baby Bay talking about it. Aspas does some crazy things when he's on Pearl, but Vic and Zeppa able to trade that B-Link area very well. This is going to be a tough hold for MiBR. 3 inside,
And they might not have to use that many ults.
big amount of ults
Oh,
coming
well, there
in
goes
at him from
one.
the side
But
of
honestly,
C9.
that's fine. They didn't spot the guy close, so Artisan can maybe do some kind of hero play. Yoru ult. Okay, there's the 2 ults. You don't need to use the Astro ult as well.
At the moment, Mitch and Nat are going to follow up with
Win the
2
round
more
without
on
the
that,
Astro
and
ult.
Naswar looking down the crosshair. Not gonna
Nice,
get much
clean
on that one
round.
as Vic trades
Okay,
against the
2
kill.
ults though, so
C9
MiBR will
are able
maybe
to
take
stop
that.
the pressure here, stop that
Now they still got to deal with these two.
MiBR's consecutive rounds.
And with a flawless, you're definitely going to take that for Cloud9, being strong on the retake, but not only on the retake, also, it's been how
You
many
watch
rounds they've played
Frozen
against
Valorant
each other
clips, he's
so
so
far
good
in this
too.
series.
Yeah, he
They're gonna
probably.
be like, at some point,
He just used to. I mean, he's probably good with ops still, I
Look at
imagine.
that, 2 players just holding up towards that door. Hello, easy kills. Although not only did they take Cortesia, they had 2 players walk through those double doors for MiBR, which does not allow for you to have any type of value in the pulse plan playing off-site.
Spikes
Yes,
drop
but
for
there's
this
no way
hit.
anyone's reading all of that.
Makes me think they want to run in and out. I mean, you got a lot of ults. Hopefully they can run in and out and see a few of those be used erroneously here.
That's wild.
C9. Well, that is a big ask.
He asked, yeah, but come on, man. Could you have not made it a little bit shorter?
Crunch into middle. The turret will sound the alarm for MiBR to play a little bit more passively.
Okay, C9 decide to fight over towards middle, all 5. They break the turret so that now when they hit over towards sites will create a little bit of pressure behind.
In his point of view, fight a 1v1.
Camera again to spot over towards B. There was maybe a little timing, but he should feel confident in no one timing
So
this.
that slows things down. Yeah, spike down, dropped. You're going to play the recon.
Heavy lean over towards A, so much so that they might be re-clearing this,
I think
or
they might go back, give Naswar the plan if possible. Hunter's Fury.
drone
They are
goes
all
in.
over the map right now,
But
though.
he can just check.
Love this play.
Okay.
It's making C9 move, and there's one on Oxy. A huge first frag. And just inserting people has MiBR taken advantage in the round.
But they have so
It might be kind of nice on this round.
without really understanding what they want to do with the spike get.
They were everywhere.
Aspas is going to move back.
Yeah, they owned them.
But a lot of time is going to be wasted. Net felt like he had
They
to make a
absolutely
play.
own them.
So he looks for information towards streets, and that
I think
will
they
definitely give
timed
the
that as a
advantage
fun.
for MiBR to plant in these
I think they
moments,
like
and
punished a
that's
little bit of
unfortunate
how
because this
proactive
has happened
C9 have been
before
here
for
as well.
Cloud9 where, yes,
Aggro
they're at a player's
A,
advantage,
insert,
but they have too much overextension
take mid
coming out
back,
from
create
net,
pressure here,
and then he gets
and then create pressure long at the same time, force the proactiveness over towards A, and then just punish it with Aspas being a beast.
C9, so they want to play for the next around these ults.
And MiBR has shown us that they can come back, they can figure out what's going on, adapt mid-game, and come out
This
with
is unrelated, but oh my goodness, we went for a mid-round replay. Is Valorant's viewership down this year? I have no idea.
From before, they were using Aspas to get into sight. Only a few times did they ever really.
Apparently
deter from
EMEA's
that
is
and
up
have
because of the
Aspas
time
go alone.
zone
So,
stuff.
Great stuff for MiBR to be able to pull out here.
Don't know about the other regions.
And the punishment
China's must be up. China's for sure is up.
Information. Even I was criticizing Net, but also for Oxy.
America's might be down. Pacific might be down there, who knows.
Just to play that buddy system, the initiator around the Aspas jet.
My viewership up? My average viewership is for sure up.
All right, bit of a miss.
It's last year, this time? Yeah,
But
yeah.
they still clean it up.
2 weapons, and also the ult here from Mitch is actually quite huge. The Armageddon could be very useful. They haven't had too many opportunities to use that yet, because he's held on to that for like what, 3 or 4 rounds so far. So
Yeah, that's how I measure as well, Des.
Really good on
Too many people are
retaking
getting
towards
banned
that
and
back
timed
of
out.
that B-side, kind of like the Hunter's Fury that some teams like to run, like Naswar, for example, with MiBR. So similar values that you have. So the pressure that you are actually trying to activate around your Yoru to control this side and play the
Okay,
retake with that
C9, aggro over towards A again,
Well,
set
you're playing
1
the
up.
stall on that side with your controller and
Knife
your
doesn't
sentinel
hit
for
the
Cloud9.
Yoru, but they should still...
The C9 knows that this A insert keeps happening, and Oxy
Okay, nice
wants
flash.
to fight it with the safe out of gate crash. They do get that good info. Now focusing.
I like this from MIBR. I think
They have
MIBR are
both
playing
shot,
great. I'm not gonna lie.
Hunter's Fury and that null command up. C9 wants to stay in sight for this fight behind the wall.
I think Artisan got the pick onto
God, I don't like the Astro.
Yeah, it was really quick.
I think I've seen an Astro used to like prevent a hit.
Fury as well as Cloud9 is absolutely scattered in the A site.
It's always to retake, and I don't like these. Because it gets you out of the choke point. You kind of want it. Like, I get this space for free. It's awesome.
Walking into crosshair, the op gets the pick up the Zeppa. This should have been a save 20 seconds ago for C9.
Ooh, planning just off the crux in that default spot so they don't get spammed from the lower portion like before. And here come the rest of Cloud9, high, low, and just trying to monkeying around the site right now to get that perfect shot. Really nice post plant setup here for the side of MiBR, but they're known. They're found out now. They have to make a move. Big shot from Cortezia, but it's not going to land. Vic comes up with another one. Shenham and Noswer now at the top of A main as Noswer strikes true.
Okay, nicely done from MiBR. Yeah, I feel like Vic messed up with this all. Gave them so much space.
I was about to eat my metaphorical
Why would you, on a map that is so heavy post plant, why would you ever use an all to prevent a hit
in this post
for
plant
1
scenario
minute?
for MiBR? But thankfully, the last two players playing that stall is going to be good enough here.
Unless
but
he's like, I can't, honestly, I've got nothing for it.
The last round into the half, still getting rid of the value that Mitch could have.
Vanity, hello mate. How's the CS stuff going?
Cloud9 in this last round. That's why it should have been a save. Having 3 rifles left behind with the buy that you have here, you would have come out a little bit stronger to potentially narrow that gap. And it's almost been carbon copy protocols of what C9's been doing on the defensive side. And MiBR is taking full advantage of it.
A lot of pressure on the map with that spike down as always. Cortezia to open it up onto Vic. The smokes are now wanting for the side of C9. Just the jumps. They're so confident behind each other.
This was a solid attack.
Rounds of the first half, map 3.
Yeah, and
I liked everything they brought to the table here.
But there's still one player anchoring.
Frod's done some good work on this one.
Again with the op.
Quick shot. Shenham with the pull, but it was going to be Oxy and the rest of the team already making it past the timing in their favor. But here, timing from Artizine. Oh, the first shots are on the jump. We've all been there, but Noswer was able to answer. The column is held strong.
Okay, there, dude, very, very nice. Lost a pistol, got 8 rounds.
From MiBR.
Love how that round was played by MiBR. Artizine not hearing players, but they understand what gaps were on their defensive line. So having the op to watch the flank, the suck for the delay, but then also to have Noswer play around the pillar right
lost
here.
The bonus? Oh yeah, they lost the bonus as well.
This is great.
This is crazy impressive. It'll change once they did that
crazy stuff.
Sting,
MiBR 5 rounds away from eliminating Cloud9 in this match. We'll be right back.
Chat, let me mute the broadcast. Feta Cheese with the Prime. Thank you for the 6 months, mate. Thank you so much for the support. A4 is a good half. I mean, it's a good half if you lose pistol, I would say. If you win pistol, you've had a bit of a shocker. Do you think C9 has required a lot more coordination and practice compared to MiBR? I think they require a lot more coordination and practice. I mean, they both need the same amount. I just think that MiBR look better on this map. I do think that C9 maybe when we watch them have struggled on defense in most of their maps. I think that's fair to say, right? Fracture, they only got 2 rounds against NRG to get us to overtime.
MiBR, very close start on that first map, but
pretty sure that's right. Their attacks are a lot better than their defense at the moment. But that's your copium if you want to believe.
On paper, still looks pretty good to run some pretty good defaults. The thing is like trying to scale fast towards the A site could be difficult because they don't have that jet dash. So you want to try to leverage the synergy around all this util available from Mitch and Zeppa.
Yeah, why you lot talk about NRG?
Group here to see if you could capitalize on your round. But C9 pissed around.
Time will come.
It was a bonus, and they still only got 4 rounds.
Right, yeah, the first 3 were theirs, and then fell through their fingers.
Yep. That's confidence coming out from MiBR once again, and that's the type of half you want to start with on the defensive side. To pull this upset against Cloud9, must I say.
Yeah, an upset indeed. Going into sight, smokes are down, salvos in, and the Arsenal gives a little breathing room here to Cloud9. We wondered if this Tejo would be stronger on their attack side. As
Lovely spam, but that's a great reply back. And at the moment, I'm pretty sure we're 4-1 for the Pistols. Maybe I gave him an extra, but I think that's right. And Mitch is just securing another.
He's getting kills with the Ghost, but he's stuck towards the back of the site. So we talk about the salvos when he comes back up here in 13. He might not be able to use them. At least they have the star on the ground for the pulse plant.
Mitch with 3. You better expect the Phantom to be purchased by C9 coming in the next round. That's how it works.
Okay, we got Astra Sack.
Gonna make it tough now.
Go for the block.
Getting in a beautiful pull. Smoke still giving a bit of cover.
Big jump.
They just jump in. Oh no, Vans! This just got real tricky.
Holy hell. Well, they're on the board. They managed to get a pistol. Yeah, it's been hard for them to do that as well, and it's looked convincing when they don't have the pistols. So what's it going to look like when they win a pistol?
And you were hoping at least jumping in with the right click would be able to take down the spike diffuser.
2v4. 2v4, but they played it pretty well. The 2. Smoked off long. Isolated the jewel of the 2.
You just look it up, you're like, oh.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. Let me just diffuse this under your nose.
But then there were 1v1s.
Side too, towards the front of the smoke, they still get that instead of back. Like everything C9 should just been able to capitalize there, but heady plays by MiBR. They just keep coming and the momentum is there. Over towards A, a quick hit by Mitch just to show presence.
Okay, C9 investor.
Thing is, they went salvo and just ran it down, and a knife.
Sheriff, and we've got one person that is allowed to go down for MiBR. I've been enjoying the outlaw usage. People aren't getting ecoed as much, and Aspas is a beast with it. That was very, very clean. Did they juggle the guns across? I don't think so.
Online, if you will, and he is feeling good. Smile from him. Usually you just see the stoic personality, but they know they're in a groove. And I'm sure Aspas is incredibly happy to see this team coming together. We keep saying it. This guy's not going to choose players he doesn't think are great. Like, that's the mechanic there. He sees that in other players.
Okay, they know there's an Owler out. We've got 2 people that can get one shot.
Last match as well. Obviously, tough
and this is what the comp's good at, taking aggro A.
And he's never played with Cortezia, Shinam, or even Artesine in that fact. Yeah. They're still getting good results until this time. Oxy finally opens
don't know what you meant to do against that, to be honest. Teva, damage, fake smokes. You pretty sure he can't jewel that. He might be able to updraft dash to get past it, so they could try that later maybe.
Last map and even these first few rounds.
Yeah, that's hard to play against.
Very touch and go. Hit each site, see what's
there. I think it's better to just lay retake that with a KO flash.
Much like we saw in Lotus.
With some kind of recon as well.
You're okay to keep it calm for Cloud9. You definitely do potentially feel the pressure that Cloud9 currently has in a server, trailing behind by 6. Net didn't really push out too far out and just wanted to watch that angle. And they all stay as a group to make sure that they could guarantee trades. We could find some surprises for him. I mean, look at that. Already an Armageddon on your attack side just to make sure you could get a plant down.
I mean, sure.
Crazy stuff.
They need to get on the board. They need to try and keep this one clean so the money's good.
Wait, plant gets stopped here. They actually have to figure this out again. They still get the frags they need.
They're
all good. That was just for a moment. It looks scary, but obviously just pistols on the other side, so not much.
Don't know about that at all. The problem is they got no info, right? Like all of this is a question mark. So on bonuses as well, you're more likely to stack a site. So if there were actually like 3 people here, we would be like, damn, what an all. But I do agree that maybe the spike needs to be a little bit closer if they're going to do that. But they just want to get around. They just want to get some money.
So you just want it on C9 side to make sure that you're not going to get caught by any of that util. Give ult orbs over on the side of your opponents. Just play to your strength. You already have 4 players inside.
Aspas gets the op out. This is where we got to pay attention. And
clean up in all 3 and move on to the next round.
Aspas is back.
Okay, they were ready for them to take control. But this is nice though.
But that already is a tell. Look at how instantly.
Okay, Aspas gets set up over towards A. Early info. We've got alarm ball, we've got turret, we've got full info across the map. Right now, if they wanted to, they could 4-person stack over towards B.
Help from the flank. Are they gonna go back?
I think so. They might try
I don't know what happened in the middle. This guy's looking. I'm actually not sure what he's doing.
That is true. He's one away. We'll see after approach this corner how aware they might.
Okay, he's going back to El
Paso.
Pasos.
Happened. So you have to think they'd clear this.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe that's why they have Zeppo moving back with them, because he's got 2 prowlers to work with. But now it's just going to be a walk into the crosshair potentially. This is not good.
They feel like they have map positioning. They throw a smoke down. No, they already the quick dismiss, but they still don't look. They don't check the
Still
corner.
a trade.
A quick trade onto
Take that. As long as it wasn't the Astra, they're pretty much
there
fine.
may not be many here, right? Ospas is there. The team's probably across the
Your
map.
ult goes
Oxy's
in.
gonna figure that out right away.
Pulls it, it's a free plant.
Drop Mitch instead, so you could still grab the orb, get information into Dimensional Drift, and play the pulse plan for Cloud9.
So huge here how this played out for C9. Can they layer the post plant
EP,
though?
so you can fight over
MiBR
towards
ready to
side.
get
I
in.
like
Not a
that.
lot of util
I'm not
there.
sure they should be
Just
3-person
coming from
art.
Artisan's
I
KO.
would drop one.
Oxy's just spraying TP away, just keeping them trying to waste that clock
Yeah,
down.
Vic's going for the wrap.
Still available for
Good.
Cloud9 on pulse plant. Already stuck to halfway though.
Whoa, they got the half, and maybe the comms over towards side weren't good because Asher wasn't close enough to hear it. That creates a lot of pressure on this.
One shows Oxy takes down, but Nazar and Shenum come up huge.
Oh boy, and we've already used Astral Suck.
Onto Cloud9. Vic again, can he make it
Run on
happen?
HP?
Always asked for.
Huh. Had the regen armor so he could tank one bullet. Shout out to Vic, he's absolutely saved them here.
Play these rounds
Oh, it got close. We got to look over here as well, and that is an eco. We're going to have 2 hero guns and maybe like 3 kind of okay. Terra farmers.
A player that maybe not too many know of, but if you've been following the Challenger scene, what he could do, how consistent he could be, and a reason why he's picked up in these moments. Look at him isolate these one-on-ones. Doesn't care
He
about
missed the
recon,
first strike
just wants
event.
to make
The
sure
America's
he
first
knows that there's
strike
gonna be a
event was
double
kind of
swing
sick.
And still jiggles enough to get
The
that.
MEA one was
So cool here
wasn't great,
under that pressure.
in my opinion, but
That's a lot to ask for the first time Vic plays here on this stage at kickoff.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. What incredible kind of just confidence in these plays.
if I was coaching right now, how much do you think I would listen to streamers like me or Sean? I would watch their games back just because it's free criticism. You don't have to listen to it.
6 to 10 here. It looks like it's a bit of
Like, why would you not?
Still slow though. Everything got
You just
slowed up
times
by
2
a
it and do
smoke
it in
at
like
the
an
very
hour, hour and a half.
Right now for Cloud9, I mean, they'll happily take it. Just easy map control once again.
Like if
and
Sean was
just
doing it of my
fortunate
team, I
this
would
time
listen
here
to
for
Sean.
Aspas. Tried to go for a hero play that got picked off here by Net. So they have to understand here. I mean, it's understandable because for MiBR, they haven't really tried to go for a lot of these mid controls yet.
They haven't, but Net's always been there.
So now they know, checkbox, look into the later rounds, what they could do here to potentially fight Net in these moments that C9 consistently plays these 4-1s on the attack.
MEA gave his. That's actually true. Shoot dodge. You're not wrong. We also got Prime Nisal.
It's not going to be enough.
It was stacked.
C9 are throwing everything in the kitchen sink in sight before they even enter right now. And there's one from Arzine. Reloads, gets another shell on there, cocks the shotgun again. And the collateral on the last hit there.
Bro.
Oh my God, pumping up the team with the Bucky.
He's absolutely melted everyone.
To live in A with the plan.
Silver lining is that he didn't pick up any of these weapons.
Oh boy, a Bucky. That's all it took was the Bucky. The left click's incredible.
With a shotgun. Beautiful job on A site.
Dude, the collab on the last kill as well. Is this just not their... Is this just not their own fault for having no A main pressure?
He chose the right one out of all of them.
Oh man, talking about isolating fights just before from Vic this time.
Oh my goodness, that last one is wild.
And just a quick smile.
Yowzer.
I just, but the 1v2 from Net, pulling out the knife to walk out towards dugout.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough to watch.
To
Okay, with that round,
you know the Killjoy's playing B
with that round, everyone forces. We got 4 people for C9 that can't buy next. We got 3 people here, but this would be a drop, so I'm gonna call it 2.
MiBR so close.
Actually, would it be a drop with a 1? Sure, we'll call it 3. It's a big swing round. Either way.
Decent buy. Half shields for both Zeppa and
Aspas committed. Can his mate shoot the drone? It's kinda invisible for his teammates. So I don't know how he's meant to do it. Aspas does dodge it. Aspas is like, mate, come on. Shoot the drone, shoot the prowler, shoot the fade eye.
Aspas out safe. So they've gotten the pressure and a little bit of knowledge.
Yeah, that's a small dub. You forced out here an updraft, a dash. And now one smoke towards that spawn. You don't really give an opportunity for Aspas to get a good line.
Well, they're going to peek this right away, hoping the dart would be something. It's not going to get enough there.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that recon.
They get right back into the smokes. Nice use of the layering and util here.
Nade's good. Oh, Nade's. Whoa,
that's unlucky. Up in the corner. Now tries to get a kill, but Artisan runs into
He's got out of there as well.
Not final kill, but another one.
Zephyr's ult is not online anymore.
Slow pushes back and forth. The trades are making this very tough to get a peek on as they spam through the smoke. You can see this push now coming from Nasr, trying to figure out who is back here, how much he can do. 3 bullets left in the Vandal. Picks up another, picks up a Phantom. He should be good now. It's going to be a re-fire onto Mitch. Trade from Vic.
I mean, all that.
Hey, what?
I love here from Mitch, just staying outside of that smoke just to delay enough. Again, the other ones with the operator, what could Aspas really do here to try to retake a 2 versus 3? So it was the most important fight in the back of the site between Nosler and Mitch. And both IGLs going
It's a big loss, man. But C9, at least they got rounds to play with. Chill. At least they got rounds to play with.
Mitch's side.
Quick play on the other side of the map too, just to deter. But yeah, back here playing in the smoke, staying alive, causing Nasr just to focus, right? That's what you're talking about, making them focus Mitch instead of what they can in the site. Yeah, these little cat and mouse games. Their C9 is able to get by in the rounds. But we're seeing that's what it takes C9 to get these rounds right now. MiBR is so close to grabbing them all back almost every time. Crazy.
Now a timeout here from Fraud. Remember the last time they had a timeout?
Yeah, and they got no money. They can have, they got the saved up and they can have an extra gun. And then there's 3 people they need to save. So you can give them a nice little plan here.
This is going to be quite interesting to see if they want to cook up something very similar.
Also, I think it's good to talk about the fact that the op over towards B is having issues. Maybe setting that over up towards middle could be alright. Or aggro, like really aggro B, or way more passive. Pretty much everything but what they were doing it would be nice.
Hop it back in. Cloud9 comes off of these timeouts.
Probably going to go over towards middle, you would imagine, but let's see.
That ult to use Nightfall and
wait, where have they squeezed an extra gun for? Wait, why is he pulled down? Okay, I was going to say, don't try cheat. Wait, what is going on? Okay, I was trying to cheat the system, trying to squeeze an extra gun into this. Okay, so they're going to set him up over towards A, and
but the idea is still there.
Recon goes in. Don't know why it's not scanning these. Must have gone behind something. The op baits in the back. I like that. And then we can shoot. Dude, the silent drone's wrecking him, but that's a nice shot.
On the drone, so they have to think twice now. Is this spot something that gets kills on him? No
Holy hell, no one's checking the back.
Oxy's gonna try to check it, but it was just a weird check.
So oh,
was finally
goodness.
able to capitalize on that, but now C9 are running away from this Hunter's Fury.
That was close, just in between them. A little bit low as well. I like the little bait idea though. This was nice.
And they also wasted out that Hunter's Fury. And MiBR's read now is to
Not
say,
sure
well,
about the Sova ult, but
as
at
Aspas
least
technically was opting
it
towards
won.
the A side, we have to run away from that, which C9 has done, but the mind games continue here for Mitch.
I think when you're 11-7, you gotta be a bit
Very
more.
important that Zeppa stayed alive to dance around the Hunter's Fury.
You gotta be a bit more chill using the ults. Recon goes in. We tank the fade ult so that we can try and get a kill off the recon. I like that. Oh boy, that is the like the 9 HP.
Walked in by Zeppa. That Hunter's Fury pays off big time.
I mean, it's
That's oh, it's a really disastrous way to lose. It really is. It's a absolute nightmare round to lose. But it does it not feel like they have no pressure around the map? Like we had this one where they went like 4 or 5 person through art and they just ran into a crossfire. And then this one we got every single person here. Like I feel like they have no backup plan, no space to just cancel.
Coria on the top of the staircase towards Art, just to guarantee a safer plant. Looks like they wanted to plant a little bit more out in the open instead of going for the safe plant inside the cabin towards the tucked area of the default spot of the A site. And it does not pay out for C9. Backs against the wall. MiBR at map in a series point.
They had 15 seconds left. Yeah, but dude, they spent like 30 to 40 seconds in A main chilling. Like once they got the Stinger trade, tell me what the time is. I don't think it's lower than 1 minute. I don't know what they've done for 30 seconds.
This is so
Like if they had a backup option, a Cypher that can take some map control, or a timing, or anything, or even just holding the map so they can run back there.
Now on top of that, they have the dimensional drift here from Moxie, so it might just be one of those plays just like they did against the anti-eco at the beginning of the half, where they just want to try to guarantee the round.
We saw it before. We were talking about how Cortezia would be kind of just put out of the map by Mitch. Both have their ults. We might get to see it on the final round if they can play within the window of Salvo or Armageddon.
We got 5 chances, and
but imagine that being the way this round goes through.
Astra ults on. Oh, dude, this ult combo is solid, but Mitch just needs to be a little bit. I mean, he just doesn't. Honestly, I'm not using my missile until this ult comes down.
Victory in this series. But again, just to underline this double ult that they currently have here for C9, if they use this now and are able to capitalize on the round, there's still 4 chances for MiBR to close it out with their own ults, better weaponry.
Okay, I like this from C9 though. They just call a timeout and they wait to see if there's any kind of aggro. Aspas last time here got wrecked by all of the drones.
Low buy for C9 here. Relegated to 2 sheriffs. Weapons on the 3 Stooges. Let's see if they
Yeah,
can
do
make
they
it
want
happen.
to send it to where Aspas is or avoid him?
Everything with dimensional drift here. Armageddon goes down. They could still have Salvo coming in for that lockdown. Few shots go back, and that's going to be a bit of mid now, picked up by Cloud9. Looks like they could stay alive here with just 3 more as they're man up.
What a
Nice
nice
shot.
Armageddon to follow him out.
Oh man,
Quick shorty as he knows Mitch is coming in.
that
They're not gonna be able to get any
is
of that util.
one hell of a
Shadow
play
and
from
Aspas
him. That was
still alive
awesome.
now to try and get this spike down.
And both players of C9 are isolated though. It might have to be our hero play coming in for once again Vic.
Nobody's going for that spike just yet. Obviously, MiBR.
Call him a beta now. I mean, this is the thing about this is like where this is like the whole line where everyone talks about him, because it's like there are certain rounds where on paper he should be going for it more, but then at the same time when he saves and he just solo wins a round, like saving the op is gonna eventually win him the game. So it's just like some.
Artizine just doing the peaks. Can he get
He's just a
underneath Heaven
beast.
here just to make it happen? He's going to get behind the pillar. He probably has
He
a
just
bit of a
doesn't
plant spot.
want to
He
take
decides
risks
to
unless he
go
has to.
inside. Can he get himself into a position that pushes him forward?
Very, very nice. I actually think this map was really good from MiBR. C9's attack was really lacking though, for sure. Okay, C9 out. MiBR. Progress. No idea who they play. Someone in chat will tell me.
They just stuck to what worked for them and made sure that they just play their own game.
They play EG.
MiBR, the upset
Okay,
we
they
were
play
not
EG.
expecting, but if an upset's on the
Bucky
docket, that
rounds?
means it can
Yeah,
happen.
dude, it's just splitting over towards A with no A main is just so. I mean, you just go into a like a 4-way crossfire. Just don't think it's a thing.
Maybe 6 days before kickoff, a new agent just came out. They had 1 day of practice, so definitely.
Yeah, I will say actually, with MiBR, MiBR, having practice, like this was a much better performance than what we saw earlier. Okay, chat, let me upload this VOD and we are gonna get some sleep because we got China in. China in 6 hours, under. But should be a banger. Get to find out who is going to Bangkok. Chat, give me a streamer. Give me a streamer to raid. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed the games. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Shazam? Sure. That's the first name I saw. Shazam.
Couldn't hold on to that lead here going
into that second. Thanks so much, everyone. I appreciate you all. Have a good rest of your day. And yeah, if you're up in 6 hours, you know where to find me. Peace, 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 peace. Shout out to the mods as always. Thank you, mods. Okay, bye, everyone. Bye, bye, bye. Thank you, thank you.
And you're carrying that over into a potential with the veterancy of both Noswer and Aspa saying, hey,
YouTube chat. See you guys soon. Okay, peace, peace, peace.